My name is Derek Konishak.
My name is Gabriel Miller.
I'm Brandon Meeks.
I am Bill Bug.
I am Jacob Ebel here with the Forever DMs.
The number one thing about playing a player character is you don't have as much prep time. It's like you can roll in with your character sheet, especially with D&D Beyond now. You can just whip up a character and you don't have to have a story, you just have to have a background.
Running a player character or playing as a character, my character for this stream is Krun, son of Kern. Nice to meet you. I get to explore a different aspect of maybe not necessarily my personality for some things, but characters. As someone who is a bit of a voracious reader, I come across all these different characters in books, and if you watch television a lot, all these different characters that you may not get to experience in any way, shape, or form, and opening up to, okay, well, what is this person's motivations, and working through the mental gymnastics of discovering a new personality, even just within yourself, that you can express at a table, or in case of some socially isolated years of our lives, here digitally.
As a PC, the building of those relationships with the people that you're playing with and the other party members, like stepping into the shoes of someone else, and alongside everybody else, learning who that character is.
So I love DMing, but I think it's less stressful being a player. You don't really have to prep for being a player. You can just kind of sit down and put yourself in the mindset of whatever character you're playing that night, and then you're good, and you just react and roll with the punches.
Playing D&D is cross-training for me, for sure, because it just lets me exist in a character, find the best ways that I can contribute to a story, make my friends laugh, just overall give a bigger sense of enjoyment to this thing that we're doing together.
I like DMing because I run games and worlds that I would have fun playing. So that's what I typically do, is I write a game of what I would like to play in if I was a player.
Being able to build this long story with friends and improvise off of what they're doing, and being able to switch from character to character to character, I love it all. It's so hard. I love being the shopkeep and being able to help you out, and then being the old crone. I'll take you. Yes, I'll give you your fortune. I just love being able to play them all.
As a DM, it's getting to provide that atmosphere and those events and those moments that maybe help trigger those with the party.
The thing about running D&D for me is that it is a definitive creative outlet for a lot of ideas that I might not develop in other media or other means.
When I craft scenes and things for my players, I try to include something for everyone in the scene, or at least like in the session. So like I'll be like, okay, this is a good part where my like cleric will be able to interact with something, so I'll add something there. Or I'll be like, oh, this will be something that my ranger is going to react to, so I'll give him some time here. And so like, yeah, I really like forming those moments and making sure that all of my players are getting like attention paid to them, or like their time in the spotlight.
And the funnest aspect of being a DM to me is the improvisational classes playing yes and. It's you as a DM, you write your story, you might have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The least amount of details that you put in there, the better, because you just play off of what the characters want to. It's, hey, you have this small little hamlet, this little blacksmith community built on the side of this mountain, and they're like, is there a tavern? Well, you might not have planned a tavern, but you know what? Yeah, there's a tavern. It's called the Ember.
And it lets me just bounce all over the place. I get to try and cater to other people's wants and needs, while at the same time doing things that I think are fun, having a little bit of mischief and enjoyment for myself.
Provide.
My name is Derek Konishak.
My name is Gabriel Miller.
I'm Brandon Meeks.
I am Bill Bug.
I am Jacob Ebel here with the Forever DMs. Bud is a cowardly little goblin. He will be a ranger, who is just utterly enamored with his beast companion, who will be a dire possum by the name of Petunia. I had kind of trying to take a different little twist on the whole Beastmaster approach to this. Petunia will be the front runner of this duo. She is undoubtedly the brains of the operation. Bud is a bumbling idiot that is scared of everything, and Petunia will be, you know, the driving force of the duo, undoubtedly. So it should be interesting to interact with everybody, with the primary creature being one that literally can't talk and that will have to be translated by Bud. So that should be a fun little exercise for the day.
Run, son of Karn. He is a very noble warrior. For those of you who are familiar with Dungeons & Dragons, Krun is a barbarian. He's a fighter. He charges into battle and rages. But the fun part about him is he thinks he is a noble samurai. So he will enter these meditative moments in life. And his attention span will be 2.5 seconds long. And his intelligence, his critical thinking skills are not exactly all there. So being able to bring a bit of just idiocy to the party. But Krun, he carries this big tree branch as his ancient noble weapon, ancestral blade. It's a tree branch. And he's going to swing it around. He thinks his father was this noble warrior. And as a bugbear, he is a kind of a lanky, lazy character with long arms. And so I'm excited to get into the physicality of him and get into his voice and be able to sit back and just make the most asinine comments throughout the process. For those of you familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, Drax the Destroyer from the films is going to be a little bit of an influence in there, with the just absolutely no sarcasm or humor or anything. It's going to be wonderful.
I wanted to do something silly. I know when we first went into it, we're like, hey, let's play a group of goblins. Let's reverse the, flip it a little bit and reverse it to where the adventurers are the bad guys and the goblins are the heroes. And not just the anti-heroes, we're actually out there doing something. And I said, you know what, I kind of want to play a charlatan goblin, someone that was like, it went a little further, and, this character popped in my head of a kobold that has somehow convinced the goblins that he's just some distant red-skinned cousin. And I picture him as this character that's just in witness protection, hiding out from something that he did in another tribe a long time ago. And and then the Brooklyn accent came out, and I was like, hey, and I've wanted to play a bard. I've been wanting to play a bard for a while, and it seemed like this would be a good opportunity to play one. And I was like, you know what, an insult comic bard sounds pretty fun. And then that just developed in the Brooklyn accent and everything to him being named Dice Clay.
My character for this session is called Grandemi Graca, and she is a druid, the midwife of this goblin tribe. So she has spent her life raising these goblins as they grow up, and she is so old and curmudgeonly right now, and I'm so looking forward to playing her because it's an experience that's a little out of my wheelhouse. I love to play characters that are eccentric and fun, and I can play to humor and drive the story in creative ways through my playing. So I'm excited to play Grandemi.
My character is his name is Mad Max, and he insists that everyone calls him the Master of the Elements, because he is a Master of Elements, and he's very confused when people refuse to call him that. But he was a goblin. He went away at some point and he tells people that he was a wizard's acolyte, but really he was just like doing all of the wizard's busy work. and he's just being used for menial labor, basically. But during his time with the wizard, he attempted to learn everything he could about magic, and then eventually, through some events, he ends up stealing the wizard's spellbook and leaving. And so he has the spellbook, except he's not a wizard; he's a sorcerer. And so through either sheer willpower or stupidity, he has convinced himself that he can understand the spells in this book and that he can cast magic. But really what's happening is he's casting it through his blood origins, and as a goblin, those origins are very clouded and mixed. And so that's why I chose the wild mage subset of the sorcerer. So a lot of the magic that he produces just goes completely crazy. And he's not really sure why that happens because he's casting the spells as he knows them. But yeah, so that's I'm excited to play and to goof around with him for sure.
That since I will not be DMing in this one, I will only be playing Bud and Petunia. I am the one running the stream, doing the recording, handling all of the Twitch moderation and all of that. And that has been a very interesting learning curve over the past few weeks as we kind of prepped up for this. Hopefully it goes well. We'll see. We've done a couple test runs on the stream, and by this last one, things we're looking pretty good with it. So hopefully it stays that way. But I look forward to the opportunity to hopefully people will come and watch and get something out of it, and having the opportunity to moderate the stream and interact with them here and there as we can. Obviously we'll be playing the game, so I can't just stop what I'm doing all the time to respond to people, but doing our best to do that. It'll be a lot of plates spinning in the air at one time, so it'll be a very interesting challenge from that perspective. But hopefully what we've done and what we do here and the story that we can tell is interesting to people, and as is the purpose of the event, we can get some traction on raising some money for kids that need it.
My goal is to provide the players with a starting off point that has a good balance of developing the characters, getting a sense of adventure and a sense of the stakes before the adventure continues in the other sessions. So I hope that is what I am able to achieve when I run.
And we should be live.
Here we are. Hello, everybody.
How's everybody doing?
Hey.
Who are you guys?
I think I'm in the wrong place.
Where am I? How did we get here?
Stuff of nightmares.
All right, so welcome everybody to the channel. I'll just kind of take the reins a little bit here. We are the Forever DMs. Before we get started, we'll go through a quick introduction of our players, and once the kind of story gets started, I guess we'll do the character introductions as well. Any business we want to take care of before we get going, everybody?
Just an initial shout out and thank you to everybody that has already been so generous and donated to us so far. This is our first year doing this. Also first time running streams and things, so bear with us for any technical difficulties. As we've already found this morning, things go awry day of. It happens. So, we're going to continue to do our best to tell a story, and hopefully you all will enjoy it. But honestly, I am floored by everybody that has already donated to us. We are already at almost the initial goal that we set out, and we're just now starting. So we got 16 more hours to see just how high we make it, and I'm really excited to be here today and do this with my good friends here and with you all in chat.
And we have a couple of incentives for donations. We've already had a few checked in. We have a few named PCs that will be weaved into the story at some point throughout the day. And one heal the whole party in the back pocket here for when we all screw everything up horribly and desperately need your assistance.
So that'll like raise down characters too, right? Do we?
Sure. The High God Norton reaches down and raises the party back to life. It's gonna be great.
That's right.
It will probably be simplest just to give the healing powers to the DM that is running.
Oh, absolutely.
Speaking of the reference to Norton, if anybody is not aware, as I'm sure everybody is aware, that we are raising money for Extra Life here today, but we are specifically raising money for Norton Children's Hospital here in Louisville, Kentucky, where the majority of us hail from. Bill's a little further south than the rest of us, but but the rest of us are here local to Louisville, Kentucky, and that is our choice of who we wanted to support. So if you hear a reference to Norton, that's why.
And as we are streaming all day long, if anybody happened to miss the introduction videos that we were cutting in and out of, having a little technical issues, we will be rotating DMs. So 4 of us will be Dungeon Masters throughout the day, and we have only just the tiniest little bit of information about the story before and after us. So today will be as much of a surprise for all of us as everybody watching. And then Jacob, the amazing technical wizard that he is running IT for us all day, basically. So he will be the one who is literally on fire.
This is fine. It's fine.
This is fine.
It's fine.
And that's it for me.
Since we're starting off, do we want to go off, explain the first Tasha's giveaway?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So 3 big giveaways that we'll be doing throughout the day. Will start off, they will run through the current session, so starting now, and go through our following break. And what we are going to do is we're going to look back at our donators through that time. All donations must be made through our Extra Life page. And whoever has donated the most, we will be gifting a pre-order copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, the up-and-coming book to be released by Wizards of the Coast, new source book for 5th edition. So if you are interested in that, any donations that you make that are part of the incentives to this, that are just free-form donations of you throwing whatever you want to throw at, even if it's just $1, that still gets you entered. So any donations that are made, we will look at the total amount that you have donated, even if you donate multiple times, so they'll add together. And we will do an announcement at the beginning of our next session of who won that, and then from that announcement on is when the next session of giveaway will begin.
And for those of you that are thinking, I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, I don't need Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, they're the perfect gift for the gamer in your life. Anyone you do know that plays Dungeons and Dragons, you can send it their way.
And as specification, we are happy to provide either a physical copy of the book or a digital copy on D&D Beyond. That will be your choice. We'll reach out to you through the Extra Life platform itself, provide an email address so that we can get your information, and we'll have all that sorted by sometime tomorrow, because today we're going to be a little busy.
And if you don't know someone that plays D&D, or you don't need a copy of it, it makes a really good coaster.
It's a huge coaster. It's like this big. It's the biggest coaster you've ever had.
There will actually be another giveaway for those of you that run role-playing games later in the day, so stay tuned as we get into the afternoon to see what sort of fun things pop up.
We can go ahead and say that one. I mean, I put it up on
You're
the
killing the suspense, Bill.
Oh, come on. It's like, at the beginning of session 3, we'll be raffling off an entire virtual tabletop map pack.
We'll actually be doing that at the break of session 3.
Yep. Like he said. So it's an entire virtual tabletop map pack by Heroic Maps through Drive Through RPG. We'll be raffling that off.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones
Alright.
can be suspenseful. There you go.
Thanks. Give me one. Give me one suspense. Just one whole suspense. That's all I ask.
I'll give you 4.
Ooh. So.
Yeah, with that, let us
Brandon.
jump towards. Yeah, I'm going to kind of take the reins from here. I also want to give a shout out, obviously, to the entity that is helping to power our session today, which is Astral Tabletop. We are going to make our way into the maps with our current characters as this goes. So, welcome to Just Cause, a Goblin Shenanigan. We will be beginning now.
Awkward
Jacob, do we have?
Well, there's that suspense.
Yeah.
I know how to build it, so here we go. Launching into our story. It is a time of omens for the tribe of Wise One. The sun sets earlier each day. The wind howls in strange melodies, and whelps have begun counting and even learning to read without bribery. Consulting with the bones, the elders of the tribe have decreed that 6 heroes must journey to the lost shrine of the mysterious goblin god, Kolkir. There they will retrieve the sacred relics of the Lost One and cleanse the land of this uncomfortable change. Unfortunately for the wise ones, only 5 of the prophesied 6 heroes took up the call. Krun, son of Kern, noble warrior. Dice Clay, red-skinned slinger of insults.
Why was I invited?
Mad Max, the self-appointed master of elements.
It's not self-appointed. Look, I am the master of the elements.
Petunia, the dire possum. Massive marsupial and mighty player of dead. And following close behind, Bud, her cowardly ranger companion.
Hi, guys.
So, let us start with a description of your characters for each other and the audience. Let us start with Krun, son of Kern.
Krun, son of Kern. Hello. Son of Crom, son of Cain, son of Coon, son of Steve. Hi, I am noble warrior, samurai. My lineage traces back for years and years. I am tall and long-limbed and use my ancestral weapon to defeat my foes and protect the tribe of the Wise Ones.
And let us move on to Dice Clay.
Well, Dice Clay's from another goblin tribe. We're red-skinned goblins, and we have scales. As far as you know, you see, our tribe's from a little island kingdom known as Rikers, and I just happened to escape.
That would explain the dragon scales and the shortness and the snout and the. Let's not think too much about it, I guess. Goblin it is.
As far as you guys know, I'm a goblin. I promise. It's like I'll show you my papers. I'm a different pedigree.
Right. Mad Max, why don't you take us over from here?
Yeah, hello. I'm Max, and my friends call me Master of the Elements, so I expect all of you to call me that as well. And I've trained extensively with a wizard, and this is my spell book, and I can definitely read all of the spells in this book and cast them, which is why I'm the Master of the Elements.
Great. Let us hear from Petunia, the dire possum. Say a few words about yourself, Petunia.
Mate, sometimes I can translate. So
Go ahead.
my most dearest, beautifulest Petunia, would like everyone to know that, she is really just looking for trash. Doesn't really know why we're here, but, is on board, so long as I find her good things to eat. And, yeah.
The greatest heroes of the tribe of the wise ones stand before you, audience. A 3-day journey took the 5 heroes from their home in the cave of the wise one to the valley of forgetting, where, stepping over a cresting pathway, a sheer gorge separates the northern slopes from the southern hills. We shall move into our map. Place your characters where you wish them to be. And see before you, spanning the gorge, is a ruined rope bridge that, though it looks incredibly precarious, seems the only way to cross. Legend tells of this bridge of the brave, and they state that only those who do not comprehend mortality can cross it.
What's the
And I say
mortality?
before you now. Maybe Max should go first. Which of the mighty skills that you have at your disposal will help you cross this chasm, my heroes?
A bridge of the brave. I don't know if this one's for me, guys. And with that, Petunia just starts sauntering forward.
No. That ain't no bridge. That's a death trap.
We must center ourselves to overcome the trials ahead. Pick nose.
What is the distance between this gap here?
Okay, we're looking at about 50 feet. 50 feet across. The rope bridge seems to be the wood is very clearly rotting in some places. There are no places to step in others, but the rope is strangely strong and well woven as you place your hands on it and give it a tug to test its durability.
Krun, son of Kern, will go first. I will protect the tribe heroes from the dangers of the bridge.
Is it really smart to have the biggest guy go first?
Well, I mean, it'll make sure that it's strong enough to support us. So yeah, I think it's smart.
And Krun in his big, lanky bugbear form will kind of saunter over with his tree branch he calls an ancestral weapon over his shoulder and look down at it, and then attempt with his intense strength and sheer focus to place one foot on one rope and another foot on the other rope and saunter across.
Make an athletics check for me as you
All
go.
right, first roll of the game.
First roll.
22.
Ooh. And Krun, son of Kern, steels himself and sauntering across using the ropes as a counterbalance. He begins to cross the bridge almost
15,
effortlessly.
25, 30. That would be my movement.
Who is up next?
How did the bridge look after that?
It looks to be, since he is basically wedging his legs mostly on the ropes and keeping to that, you can hear some of the wood creaking and it being stressed, but it is not breaking under his weight.
I say we send Petunia next.
Yeah. She's good at climbing, right, bud?
Well, she's the best at everything. And Petunia will just kind of look back and go, meow, meow, mm-hmm, and will begin to make her way across the bridge.
And how is Petunia attempting to get across?
She is going to latch on with her claws on just one side of the rope, and she is going to shimmy herself across on the underside of the bridge, keeping a tail tightly wrapped around the top, should she manage to slip a bit.
Make an acrobatics or athletics check, your choice.
All right.
With the prehensile tail helping along.
Ooh. It's not great, but it is still a 10.
So as Petunia begins to wrap around and go across, one of her paws grips a piece of the wood, and it cracks and snaps through. She swings down by her tail and quickly looks down into the gorge and rights herself and grabs back onto the rope.
Oh, Petunia, please be careful.
It's fine. She's just showing off.
So with that, Bud will bolster himself a bit, and is going to take out a rope of his own. How long to cross the chasm did we say this is?
About 50 feet.
Of course it is. And is Krun all the way across at this point?
He is not all the way across.
Oh.
He is about 30 feet.
30 feet, yeah.
About 30 feet across. Okay. Well, Bud is going to... he is going to tie the rope around his waist. And he is going to tie the other end of the rope to an arrow. And he's going to wait for Krun to get to the other side. And we're going to go and we're going to go from there.
Tying it to an arrow?
Yeah, so the rope's tied to the arrow and to his waist.
I imagine I've seen Bud shoot at this point, right? Have we seen that?
Yes. Despite his idiocy, he is a decent archer.
Okay, that's just making sure. Yeah.
Hey, Max.
Yeah, what?
I got a gold that he misses.
You've got a gold? Yeah. One whole gold?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll take that bet.
Oh, man, this is a lot of pressure.
You shake on it, right?
Sure.
And Bud, if you are attempting to fire the arrow across, make a.
I'm going to wait until Krun gets to the other side.
Nice. All right. So that leaves Mad Max and Dice Clay as still trying to find ways to get across this chasm.
Can we see where Petunia is in relation to the bridge?
That is a question. Where has Petunia made it out here?
I will say that Petunia made it to about here.
Oh, okay.
And be aware that there are more pieces of wood. For our map purposes, this is what we had in terms of assets. So imagine that there are sporadically a few more pieces of wood in here.
Working with what we got.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take out my spell book and I open it, and Dice sees some like crumbs and shit like fall out of it. I'm like, okay, master the elements. And then I cast Misty Step and I appear next to Krun. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
As you appear, you apparate next to Crumb. And Crumb, you see next to you Max, the master of the elements, poof into the air. Max, I want you to make a dexterity saving throw to grab onto something as you appear out of nowhere.
May I and attempt to help.
Sure, you get advantage on the dexterity saving throw.
Because I need it.
Oh, jeez.
I rolled an 8. And the second one, all right, that's a little better. That's a 15.
Okay, so Max, you are able to, with the aid of the great warrior Krun, you are able to attach to one of the sides of the rope bridge, find some footing on a sturdy wooden plank, and you are in the middle of the bridge, not far
Worry
from
not.
the other side.
Well,
Worry
I
not,
am-
friend Snacks.
I am not. No. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your help.
And that leaves Dice Clay currently, that has made no plans or attempts so far.
Dice is just watching this entire comedy of errors.
He's going to be busy today then.
What's Bud doing? Is he still...
Bud is like towing the first of the planks, just going, oh God, oh jeez, oh God, but Petunia's out there and no, just like super terrified of everything that's going on. But seems to be preparing himself to take his shot when his compatriots are ready.
So I just kind of shoved past Bud.
Okay, I didn't sign on for any of this. I don't see why we're doing it.
And I'm just going to start climbing across.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Actually, no. Can I start balancing myself like a tightrope? That way.
Sure. Absolutely. Make an acrobatics check as you grab onto one of the ropes and kind of leverage yourself and try and use it to kind of shimmy your way across the rope.
I'm going to, that way I can use my dex on this. See if that appeared.
There you go.
18.
Nice.
There we go.
Woo! Dice Clay takes the rope, shimmies, and finding your rhythm, Dice, almost like the rhythm of a good comedy set, you make yourself
Ha-cha-cha.
to the. You make yourself slightly behind Krun, son of Kern, being careful not to step on Petunia's tail as you inch over her.
Why is there traffic on the bridge? Get across, come on.
As you hear this voice coming up behind you, Krun, you now have a pretty unimpeded way to get across as you go. Make if you are continuing your athletics, please make another check for me.
Worry not, friend Snacks. This is how one carries their way across all of these elementaries. For a 15.
All right. You stay the course, continue with leveraging your body weight, and you make it to the end, standing once again on firm, solid rock and ground.
Praise the honorable ancestors.
Max,
Petunia.
did you just call us snacks?
Yeah, he did. His second time, actually.
Petunia, continuing across in the same fashion. Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer.
Oh God. Oh, it's so bad.
No. No.
It's so terrible. It went through twice. That's good. Yeah, so that's a big old 5 from her.
Okay, a 5 from Petunia. Dice Clay, you hear from behind you, desperate scrambling with paws as once again Petunia breaks through a board, her body kind of slinging down. Do you wish to do anything to aid this dire possum in her quick descent.
That I knew it. That possum ain't gonna last long.
So she's not hanging on at all. She's flat out falling.
No, she's not. She's not flat out falling yet.
Okay.
So she has.
I do
by her.
want to try something.
Okay.
So in reaction, I would like to. I want to try to cast the gust cantrip, and I want to like gust her. So basically, I can. It says one medium or smaller creature that you choose must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed up to 5 feet away from you. So I want to like use the wind to like push her back up to the bridge.
Sure. As an updraft comes underneath Petunia, is she fighting the wind that is kind of pushing her up towards the bridge?
In fact, Petunia will become a leaf on the wind and go with it.
So Petunia's animal instincts kick in, and she does not fight as she tries to get lurched up onto the back onto the bridge as her tail is only slightly holding on, and she lands onto the plank.
I'm the master of the elements.
Wow.
Don't take credit for that. That's just a gust that came up the gorge.
As you see,
No,
like
I did it. I cast it from my spell book.
as you see the tiniest little like thumb give a thumbs up.
What is Bud doing in response to seeing Petunia yet again?
Seeing her nearly fall, Bud's the only thing that will bring out Bud doing something brave is Petunia being in danger. So he will actually rush out onto the bridge, putting the arrow back and going to bring the rope to her to tie her to him.
Great. Make athletics or acrobatics, your choice.
Man,
for Bud.
These have just been so good so far. What do we got?
There you go.
Got an 11 from Bud that time.
Okay, Bud is able to rush out to the edge. He comes to a stop at one of the planks, and then
Oh gosh! Oh, Petunia!
and then kind of leaping onto it, makes a little bit of headway as he finally gets to Petunia, and helps to pull her up. However, he is not moving much further beyond that point. So let me basically put you all over here.
Okay. As soon as he has her up there, he would like to take the other end of the rope that's not tied to him and tie it to her, because clearly they're safer together.
Make a dexterity check, just a general check to like tie this knot quickly under duress. So, who is making their way across? Who is continuing across?
Dexterity ability check is a 12.
All right, you are able to get the rope slung around and get a crude knot tied around Petunia.
Well, there we go, Petunia. You'll be safe now. I'm here.
And like, if you could ever see a possum roll their eyes, they're just wow.
So, so I open my spell book up again, and I'm like, well, I'm not sure how I did that one. So let's try this other one. And I get out a rope from my pack, and I'm like, "Oi, Krun, catch!" I'm gonna catapult one end of the rope to Krun.
Nice.
All right, Krun, make an athletics check to catch it.
15.
Snatches it right out of the air.
Good catch. All right. And now having
now
having the added security, I will proceed forward, just kind of like balancing on the rope.
Make an acrobatics check as you go across.
Sure. With advantage, hopefully.
Oh, you're fine. I mean, it's just a lower check. The check's lower.
It's a 13.
Yeah, you're good. You
cool.
You clear the rest of the way with no problem. Using this rope as just as like safety net. You know, not your nerves not getting the best of you. Dice Clay.
I look at Krun and I go, "Thanks, friend snack."
What?
I look down at Petunia, I look down at Bob, and just shake my head and just start walking across, doing the whole tight rope type thing again.
Make another acrobatics check for me.
Oh no.
Oh no!
What is it? What is it? What is it? Is it a one?
6.
The 6?
It is a natural one.
It's a natural one.
So as you kind of look down and scoff and roll your eyes a little bit at Petunia and Bud, you begin to shimmy and put a little too much of your weight onto one of the planks as it collapses, breaks through, and you are now your foot slips. Make an athletics check to hold on.
Ugh.
If I can, I'll gust again to help him out.
So, Dice, as you kind of begin to fall again, you feel a gust coming up from beneath you, kind of giving you a little of a push. Are you fighting it?
Since I saw it happen to Petunia, I will do it again. And I'll say out loud.
These wind gusts must be a natural occurrence in this canyon. Good
No.
thing.
So you are kind of heaved up again, and you are able to grasp on before falling to your death.
All right, then I will pull myself up.
All right. So Bud and Petunia, you have yet to get across.
Jacob, you're muted.
Yep. Sorry, dogs were barking there a second ago.
No worries.
So, now safely secured to his Petunia, Bud and Petunia will just make their way across on the planks. Not really doing anything other than just trying to help balance each other as they go across, helping keep an eye out for things and such.
Okay. So as they kind of go across, kind of supporting each other, make athletics or acrobatics for each of them as you wish.
All right. Well, Petunia's was a 14 and Bud's was an 8. Because
All right.
I'm rolling
so this
so
time,
well today.
This time Bud begins to slip, and Petunia grabs him kind of by the scruff of his shirt, and it kind of heaves him forward. And you continue across.
Oh, thanks, Petunia.
As you both continue, Dice, make your acrobatics check to continue across.
Ooh.
Such heroes. So good.
So I got
What do we
2.
have? Woo!
Holy cow.
Oh, no. I rolled athletics. That's my bad.
Oh, reroll.
I wonder if that's what I rolled last time.
Nope, it was acrobatics last time. Oh, no, I lied.
Oh, there we go.
You did both last time.
Okay, what was it?
24.
24.
All right, 24. Yes, you, after that last fall and gust, you don't waste any time as you just shimmy across and lickety-split. You are there on solid rock and ground again.
All right, a little out of breath as I get over on the other side.
Some heroes. We almost bought it from a bridge.
Always fine. Good thing that I'm the master of the elements and that wind saved you and Petunia.
You need to stop and taking, credit for things that hadn't happened naturally. It's kind of sad, Max.
I don't like you.
Bud and Petunia, give me one final athletics acrobatics push across the bridge.
Oh gosh, oh geez, oh gosh.
That looks like that is the second one didn't come through. That's a 13 and a 16.
All right, both of them look at each other, nod, and make their way across in kind of almost a semi-dash as they steal their resolve and make it across, and all of you have now made it across the bridge of bravery.
Oh man.
Krun is standing there, rope in hand.
Oh, wait,
Are
we're done.
okay. And he returns the rope to his friend Snacks.
Fantastic.
Returning the rope, you see all before you standing, an ornate, well-crafted beam entranceway. Taking a sniff, inside the air is surprisingly fresh. You not only hear running water, but looking far enough with the dark vision into the darkness, you can vaguely see a fountain and a surrounding pond in the distance. And you all may now switch over control and move your characters how you will.
Krun will step up to entrance with ancestral weapon and stand guard. And then get distracted.
Bud is like fussing over Petunia and carrying on, and Petunia has like gnawed the knot back out of the rope and is continuing forward, kind of like pushing herself away from Bud a little bit.
So we're all just kind of like looking at Krun, like waiting for him to go, and then like he doesn't for probably like an awkward amount of time, probably like 30, 45 seconds. And like, you planning on going in there or what?
And as you creep your head around to like look up, you see he's
You've got to be kidding me. I'm gonna cast shape water. I'm gonna shape the water out of my my like drinking gourd and like splash it on his face and then put it back. Nice nap. You feel refreshed now? Yeah.
I was meditating.
Yeah. Maybe we can continue now.
Yeah. While as this all happens, Bud's like, "No, come back, Petunia!" And she's already.
Checks out.
Dice shakes his head.
You know, I thought the gods never made mistakes, and then I met you guys.
Man.
Petunia, moving forward, you note that this, and Bud to an extent, moving forward, you note that the cavern is incredibly rough and natural.
Okay. So I'd like to see kind of do a quick your choice perception or investigation of just kind of what is going on in here. If I can tell kind of like where the architecture comes from, that sort of deal. Something that I forgot to mention is that I did pick my natural explorer as a ranger. I did pick mountains. So
Okay.
I have various bonuses and such in place for that right now.
Sure. So make a. The perception's pretty clear that this is a natural, a pseudo-natural cavern, and obviously it has been hewn out of the rock. Make a history check to see if you note any of the architectural elements.
Give a quick shout out to the Meeks family for making a donation of $100 to us, and that officially puts us over our initial goal.
Hey.
So thank you, Meeks family. You guys are the best.
We shall inherit the earth.
That's awesome.
It's on the family crest.
So haven't even hit 10 a.m. Already made our goal initially. So fantastic. That's super exciting. We will probably almost certainly be updating our goal for some higher numbers as the day goes on to see what we can continue to do. We'll get to that later at a break.
Thank you, family. Thank you. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
So I'm sorry there. What did I need to roll?
No, you're fine. Roll a knowledge history check to kind of determine what the
knowledge history
with advantage because of you.
Okay.
With advantage to see if you can tell anything about the architecture.
So That was a 16 and a 5 on the die, so a 15.
Okay. 15. So I'm assuming this is Bud, correct?
Yes. This is
so Bud remembers stories. You remember stories from when you were a little whelp of the old ones who once lived in the mountains. And in fact, your people had come down, the wise ones had come down from the mountains and settled in the cave of the wise ones. But you heard stories that the old ones that came before the wise ones, before the movement of the people came, had knowledge of carving stone, of carving temples into the mountains. And as you look, you see these natural, not natural, but actually carved pillars, almost marble-like. They stand out against the rest of the room. And though they are quite crude, to Bud's eyes, they look well made compared to anything you've seen a goblinoid make.
Oh, there were stories of places like this.
Bum, 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 bum,
And we'll kind of continue forward here a little bit. Probably hold off there for Krun to walk past, like he does.
Yeah. The thing that does pull most focus in the room, Bud, you definitely see a well-made, well-crafted fountain atop so it is crafted from simple marble and affixed to a large boulder in the middle of this pond before you. Fresh water continually pours forth from it, and beyond you can see a pathway into what
I
you're
am
not quite
so
sure.
thirsty.
Oh, God. All right,
Crun.
Krun, you're taking a drink of water.
Krun
Do
goes
not
up.
disturb the. Oh no!
Oh,
Krun, as you stand in this fountain, you feel your mind becoming calmed, and the clarity of your perception increases. You feel wisdom begin to flow through you as you stand in this water.
Which is a brand new feeling.
yes.
You feel wiser than you ever have in your life. Wise enough to note that your arms begin to feel heavier, and the hair on your, the coarse hair on your bugbear body begins to grow ever so slowly, and you could swear gray in some places. I want you to raise your wisdom score by 1, and lower your strength score by 1.
Oh, hell.
So wise. So Kern.
And as this happens, some of you kind of look at Krun. Anyone that's trying to look at Krun, is anyone trying to perceive what's going on? If so, make a perception check.
Yeah.
Petunia is closely observing the situation.
I got a 10.
Okay, Max, something feels like it may be amiss, but you're not quite sure what. And Petunia, make a perception check.
That's a 9.
Dice got an 18.
Is there any sort of advantage that Petunia gets on like smell checks?
Yeah, she has keen senses for that.
Okay, yeah. Roll advantage on this.
Yeah, specifically for smell. That's better. It's 14.
Okay, Petunia, you're very familiar with the smells of Krun, son of Kern, over this journey, and now you kind of sense that there's a slight increased whiff of sulfur on the air, as if maybe his flatulence has increased as well. A little bit harder to control. What is everyone else doing?
Not even a possum wants to be around that as she continues around the pool,
Krun
distancing
turns back
herself
and
from
looks at
Krun.
I'm afraid to
Crunch
know what
back.
Dice found out with an 18.
Oh, so Dice had an 18. Yes, Dice, you note that this bugbear is starting. His hair is growing as you speak, and you definitely can spot some streaks of gray.
He actually turns around and he's got like the super handsome early 40s Sean Connery
So
gray
the silver
going.
gray.
Yeah. just one though, just one little streak.
Crun the silver
Becoming that
fox.
silver fox, yeah.
Oh.
So he's obviously growing older, right?
It looks to you, yes. You don't
Can
know
I
how.
It's +1. Arcana to try to
Actually,
figure out.
Roll. Make a. I will say, whichever you prefer. Arcana, intelligence, something, history. Roll. You think you may have heard something about this before, so just roll something, and we'll see what you are able to recall.
15.
I also wanted to study like the area and see if there's anything that like rings a bell from like my time with the wizard.
Okay, Max, go ahead.
Okay, cool. 10.
Okay. You're not recalling anything specific from your master's reports, Max, as you kind of stand in this place. But Dice, you recall a story about the shrine of Cloclil, where you now stand.
Bless you.
You, yes. There is a legend of the Wallow of Wisdom within the shrine. And
I do recall the story of a shrine of I think it's called Klonic, that when you stand and you wallow in it, I don't know, it's a little fuzzy.
yeah, the
It must
Wallow
be a
of
shrine of
Wisdom.
riddle.
The Wallow of Wisdom grants the wisdom of years to those who bathe in it.
Can we see what is it in the middle of that lake or pond?
It's a fountain.
Oh, okay.
From which the water is coming.
Gotcha.
Crun, exhausted from his exertions and the sudden influx of wisdom, comes over and sits against one of these pillars, kneels, places his ancestral weapon in front of him, and begins meditating.
Okay.
And immediately falls asleep.
You meditate with a clarity that you haven't felt before, as what starts off as just nodding off to sleep, but continues as you are aware of your breath and aware of the sounds in the cave around you. And you feel your heartbeat and the muscles in your body twitch individually as you reach a state of consciousness, and then you black out into a nap. What is anyone else doing in regards to this?
I ain't going in that water, I can tell you that. I'm already old enough.
Yeah, goblins don't have a very long lifespan, so I feel like it's not a good idea.
So about how far across the water here is it? Like, is there a way to kind of like edge around the outside without touching it, or?
No, it does not look like there's a way to get around this by like avoiding the wall through the walls of the water, unless
Okay, so
something's got a climb speed.
No, I'm gonna look at Dice and be like, "Oi, explain this one," and then I freeze the pond. I'm casting shape water to freeze the pond.
Nice.
Does the shape water work to the extent?
It doesn't freeze the entire pond, but it says range 30 feet. Oh, it's a 5-foot square. Okay, so I freeze like a 5-foot square, so I can I put it like here so I can like hop?
Sure. You can do that.
So I freeze like a
so-
block of it here.
Here, I will put the block here.
Yeah, perfect.
As you freeze a spot with shape water, as you kind of feel frost particles gather in the air as you make the incantation, and before you a flat surface of ice, like plants, onto the water.
For
And,
what it's worth, you can actually do that twice and have 2 non-instantaneous effects running at a
That'd be
time
great.
with that.
Yeah, so if I can do 2 blocks, that'd be awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Jacob.
So
we
you
go.
make a block of ice. You know, you can get a job down at the pier shaving that, and that's just one element. You're saying master of elements. Should we call you master of ice?
Well, you've seen my mastery of the wind, which you refuse to accept. So, if you want to just call me master of ice, it's a start. Maybe later I'll light your ass on fire, and that will convince you the master of a fire too.
Petunia will turn towards Max, give another tiny little thumbs up, and hop her way across the ice patches.
Junior understands me.
It's no problem to hop across these. They're quite simple. Actually, though, I will say they are blocks of ice.
Yeah, they're kind of slick.
Probably a little
So
slippery.
make an acrobatics check to make it across without slipping.
That's 12.
Yeah, you're able to hop, and then use the momentum to catch the edge, hop, and then hop. So it's more of a leap, and across. Max, do the same if you're going across.
Oh, okay, that was almost a 4. That's a 14.
14, yes. You do basically the same thing. You leap, you feel the slipperiness of the ice underneath your feet, you catch the edge, leap to the next one, catch the edge, and then you are across.
Oh, and then I look back and I see Kern asleep. Kern asleep. Boy, bud, you know, do your thing.
Yep, I got it.
And he will walk up and like start poking Krun in the side of the face. Like, hey, big guy, you gonna wake up?
Dice will walk over as he's doing this, and I'll take my cigar out of my mouth and like poke him with the lid in of the cigar.
Like, wake up, meat shield. Come on, we're going.
Oh. Good meditation.
That seemed like a pretty sound one. Can we just let's keep going there, bud?
Okay, Bob.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start hopping over.
Yep.
Yeah, make your acrobatics check.
You want 1 or 2? Just 1?
Just one.
And Bud
I'll
will
make
do
sure.
the same and got 21 this time.
Ooh, Bud leaps right across. Dice, how'd you do?
14.
Yeah, you do fine. You make it. Boom.
It's under Mr. of Ice now.
And Krun. How are you doing?
Krun, with his very long limbs, with his greater than 5 foot reach, he's just going to reach out and steady himself against the wall and walk across.
Okay. Using the ice to just walk across the water?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So stepping into the water again, you feel your wisdom come even more clear.
No.
As you gain +1 wisdom, and this time you get the other Sean Connery streak in your beard. As you feel your limbs grow a little heavier once again, the ancestral sword strains in your hands as you take a -1 to your strength. And
starting the barbarian off
through.
strong.
So good.
And
Barbarians
through.
are great when they're wiser.
Yep. Here, pretty soon I might have to cross-class into monk just to use some of the relevant stats.
You already have the unarmored defense going for you, so
there we go.
That's nice. All right, so after a moment, the ice melts, and you find yourselves inside a strange-looking alcove. You see an overgrowth of vines and dead foliage webbing out from a central statue, and paved stones set all about in a rustic but well-placed design. And they all slightly obscure, the vines and foliage lightly obscure 6 white stones. I'll bring your attention to them. With
Each of the 6 points.
our tools, yes. Each of those 6 points. Also 2 large, darker boulders, seeming to be made of obsidian or some volcanic rock. And the statue in the center is very clearly a rough stone-hewn goblinoid figure, clasping a simple obsidian scimitar to its chest.
Bumbling
not hearing
through
you,
and
Bill.
kind of pushing past the others. Kron will reach the edge of the circle and kneel and bow to a statue of a wise ancestor.
Completely
bow
not.
and- What's that?
I say completely not knowing who this figure is.
Who's that?
Based off of his previous role from the stories, would Bud have an idea of perhaps who this is?
You know that the old ones worshipped a mysterious god named Clokilk. The god. You don't know much about them, but you think that this might be some representation, some avatar. You're not sure.
I remember Grandemy Graka talking the stories about the cloak killed thing. I don't know words. Maybe is this it? Is this what we're here for?
The voice of Bud echoes around this small alcove as you hear the running of water from behind you.
Coming up from his bow and smiling in a strange form of expression Kron isn't very used to. This is honorable ancestor. And he will rise and begin walking towards the statue.
Petunia will saunter forward and give a sniff at one of the silvery spots there.
One of the stones?
Yeah. And kind of like give it a nudge, see if it does anything.
As soon as Petunia sniffs and nudges this stone, they all begin to glow faintly with a white light. And as they begin to glow, they they begin to pulse. And after about 4 pulses, you begin to see the pulses transfer. Are any of you watching the statue currently?
I'll say I was.
No.
As these pulses happen, you begin to see a vibrant blue begin to pulse in the eyes of the statue as they quicken the pulse. And eventually,
Hey, something's happening.
eventually the eyes become a piercing, vibrant blue glow. What are you all doing here? As this is happening, is anyone doing anything in particular?
Bud has run up next to Petunia and is just like staring down at this stone, paying a bit of attention to any of the rest of it, and just going, "Oh."
So it looks like the statue's like basically like looking at us now, right?
The eyes are coming to some sort of arcane life, you would notice, Max.
I'll kneel, I guess, like in reverence, basically.
Okay. You kneel, and Dice, are you doing anything?
Right now, I'm just observing, as even though I'm a cousin, I'm not familiar with this ritual, so I'm just observing right now. Can I?
All right.
Can I
Krun
roll
is taking a step back and out of respect.
Can I roll a perception and just try to piece together how these stones are might function?
Sure.
Or
Make
investigation.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, well, not good, not bad. 5.
Yeah, you're trying to look at this thing, kind of tracing your hand around it as it's glowing, trying to look around. It's glowing, it's pulsing. You're not quite sure what else it may function.
Given his paying close attention to it, Bud would also like to try and do an investigation of these stones, given Petunia's interactions with them.
Sure.
And based off Natural Explorer, I should have advantage on that roll, I believe.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see. Well, that's 2 14s.
Okay.
No, sorry. The first one was a 15 because it came through as a 14. Because it's -1. So 14.
Okay. So, investigating this stone, it takes you a moment, and right as the eyes light up, you feel a sort of imprint, as if these stones may open somehow.
So
at some point.
Bud is sitting here looking at this thing, and Petunia is actually explaining it all to him, just being like, also, give me just 1 second. My dogs are losing their mind. Just a sec.
Is there some kind of pattern to the blinking? Is there any way to tell?
No. Well, not pattern. Well, I guess make an investigation check real quick.
It's a
While
minus
we're waiting
one.
for...
Strong 7.
Okay,
Strong
yeah.
7.
You count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Divided by 3. Carry the 1. There.
Max is actually dyslexic, and so he never did well at this.
You splitting kings. You're trying to 52 cards. No, you can't put anything together.
Why can't I remember this?
As that happens, and while I'm going to continue, even though Jacob is away, the eyes now, as they have been glowing a vibrant blue, you feel the statue move.
Oh.
And the arm pulls away from the chest and brandishes the sword of obsidian as it steps down from the stone base.
Oh, he wants to give us a sword.
And begins to head towards the nearest hero, which would be Krun, son of Kern. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
First initiative of the day.
Oh, I wasted a nat 20 on initiative. That's sad.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so Brandon, technically at this point I don't have my Beast Mastery effects in play, so Petunia is not technically a companion. Do you want me to still run on the same initiative or separate?
What is it normally with the Beastmaster?
They would operate on my initiative.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too hung up on that.
I got a 21 for initiative.
All right, 21
Nice.
for 21 for dice. Max, you got a
23
nat
for Mac.
20, 23.
Yeah, 23.
Dex-based
Kron-
character. I've rolled dex-based things for most stuff that I have done here today, and I have been sub 10 on the vast majority of these rolls. That's just phenomenal.
Your time will
Kron,
come. It's fine.
Kron, what was yours?
Kron, son of Kern, rolled a 14.
A 14. And what is Petunia and Bud's initiative?
That's a 9.
All right. You are going down as P-Bud. What's your rap name? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, yes. Roll initiative. And Max, as you've been watching this thing intently, trying to figure out some sort of pattern, you are the first one to react as the statue begins to move from the stone platform.
Is it obvious to me that it's like aggressive, or like it is actively like aggressive towards Kern?
I'll give you an insight check.
Sure. 11.
Yeah, Max is not too bright, but you
Should've took
get
a
the
different blonde.
sense. You do get the sense that this thing is dangerous. You do know that. As the obsidian sword begins to raise in the direction of Krun.
So at first I was like, oh, he wants to give us a sword. That's really nice of him. And then I'm like, oh, maybe not. Kern, run! And then I'm going to cast Earth Tremor at his feet.
Okay.
So he has to make a dex save.
Okay.
So
Fails.
13. Okay. He takes 4. Hang on. It is 4 bludgeoning damage, and he's knocked prone.
Okay. 4 bludgeoning damage and knocked prone. Got it.
Also, the ground in that area, in a 5-foot diameter, becomes difficult terrain.
Okay. So I'll just put the statue back.
So that's.
And we'll basically say the center of the platform then becomes difficult terrain. It is knocked prone, and it did 6 points. Did you say?
4. I opened my spell book and I basically slam my hand down on it at the same time, stomping on the ground, and then it ripples through the ground, and then the ground underneath the statue bursts up.
Great. The ground pushes up underneath. It tries to kind of walk. If it doesn't have an expression, but the way this automaton-like movement seems a bit taken by surprise as the ground ripples underneath it and it falls onto its back. The area in the stone kind of cracking and rippling up. What else do you wish to do? Anything?
I don't think I can do much else. I was going over here to examine this kind of these obsidian rocks to see if they do anything in particular. Can I take a look at one of those real quick?
Take a look at one of the rocks you said?
One of the biggest, one of the dark ones that you were talking about.
Dark ones? Yeah. If you want to take a quick look, I'll give you a perception check.
Sure. Perception. Oh, okay, I'm distracted. I got a nat 1 on that one.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with the spell that I just casted. I'm like, that was cool.
Yeah, you literally run into the boulder. You don't take any damage, but you boom. Oh, you get a look at it, but it's mostly without any breath in your lungs as your diaphragm has been compacted. Yes. Now we are up to dice.
You said it's prone, right?
It is prone.
Okay, so I'm going to move over to here, and I'm going to yell out the Kern.
Hey, tough guy, do your job.
And give him a bardic inspiration.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's a bonus action.
It's canon in my head now that we constantly waffle between Kern and Krun, and on accident.
He does too. So whatever.
And yeah, I'm going to draw my hand crossbow from the underarm sling inside my vest as the prongs pop out, and I'm going to pop a shot at the statue.
Do you hold it like sideways? Like,
Sure, why not?
As a note, real quick, before we get going, we did have a $10 donation from the Potter family. Thank you very much for your donation, and they have donated an inspiration point. The message that we have is we love our forever DM. So
That's me. That's
all
my
right.
father.
Well,
Nick and Blair, thank you very much.
well,
You're
there you
awesome.
go. The DM has an inspiration point to spend.
We are
Thank you very
playing
much.
tomorrow, so yeah.
You can also use it as a DM if you would just like to punish
trying
us
to
for it.
bribe
That's
you
fine.
for tomorrow. That's what's happening. Literally.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
a
playing
DM
with them tomorrow.
Inspiration for tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Make that roll, guys.
Nice.
That's a crit.
Nat
First
20.
attack of the day.
Nice.
Nat 20, first one of the day, or no? Is that
Yeah,
Sorry, I
so
was looking
it's
at it. Wee, sweet.
12 points, I believe.
Yeah, 12 points
Yeah.
of damage. Wonderful.
Sorry, it's very blurry from here.
13.
13. Oh, that's a 5.
Because maths.
Yeah. Maths stay the same.
I channel Kern for a second.
Hey,
Yeah.
checks out.
So this bolt strikes kind of like into one of the eyes, and you see as half of the eye is glowing blue, as you must have chipped whatever arcane stone was inside it.
And Dice yells out,
Yeah, we do it in Rikers.
Anything else for you, Dice?
that'll be it. Bonus action, that's it.
All right, Kron, you are up.
Seeing the immediate response from his allies, Krun draws his ancestral weapon and centers himself into a fighting stance and rages as a bonus action and takes a swing with his ancestral blade, aka Maul. There will be an additional +2 to this. 20 to hit.
That's going to hit. Roll your damage.
So that is 9 points of damage from the maul, and the sudden and intense ferocity of the attack catches him off guard as Krun barely took a step forward with his long reach and 10-foot reach with this weapon, and deals an additional 2d6 with his racial ability, surprise attack. So an additional 7. So 14 points of bludgeoning damage in total. 15, 16 points of bludgeoning damage in total.
Okay. As
And
you
that's
strike
Krun's turn.
as you strike this blow, you see the eyes. It boom as it's on the ground, and you see the lights in the eyes begin to dim. And then Max, you note a shaking in the black boulder next to you as you are kind of laying on top of it. You step back reactively, and the boulder cracks on the cracks down the middle as wispy blue light begins to traverse through, and the eyes light up once again, and it is still prone. However, it is jolted back to life.
I think the rock brought her back to life. Once again. One more time, boys.
Petunia and Bud, you are up.
Is it still prone on the ground?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Then with a ferocious Petunia will run forward, jump on top of it, and make a claw attack with advantage.
Sure.
Petunia don't play.
No.
Let's see. Petunia here. Petunia's rolls are not great yet, but the advantage on that'll be a 15 to hit.
Okay. That will, as Petunia leaps on top of this thing, it is hard to find a place to bite and scratch in this stone figure, and that attack will miss.
Man. All right. Well, that's what Petunia does. And Bud will run over to the rock that just split over here and use his bonus action to hide.
All right.
So
Bud is hiding.
Is a 16 on his stealth check for whatever that is worth.
Okay. 16 on the stealth check. Noted. All right. It now takes its big stone hand, leverages itself up as it stands, and it is going to move closer to Krun, be here between Krun and Petunia. It is going to take its attacks.
Oh, no.
What is Petunia's AC?
12.
12. All right. As it attacks, it makes one strike at Petunia, which it misses. And then another one, it makes... Seeing that Petunia dodged out of the way, you see its look kind of zero back in on Petunia and make another attack. And that 20 on the roll.
No. Well, Petunia, it was fun.
Yeah.
As this obsidian sword crashes down with immense force, Petunia is going to take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. She is kind of crushed into the ground. And it looks in the direction of Krun as we move back to Max in the initiative order.
You have a backup possum?
There's no possum as good as Petunia.
I kind of want to do the. Yeah, I'm gonna repeat the earth tremor. So same thing. I slap my hand down on the spell book. I stomp at the same time. The ground ripples, and he has to make a dex save.
Okay. What is the DC?
13.
13. It just fails.
Yes.
So.
Okay. He takes. I rolled a 1 on the damage, so he takes 1 bludgeoning damage, and he is prone again. And then that is also difficult terrain now.
Got it. Prone again as the tremor comes up through. More of the stones break underneath you. The vines snap, brittle and aged, and the statue tumbles once again to the ground, seemingly confused in its magically enhanced mind. Anything else for you, Max?
No, I'm good.
All right. Dice, you are up.
Okay. So I'm going to move further over here. And
okay.
I'm going to look at the party, and I'm going to cast... hold on 1 second. Ooh, coughing fit. Didn't want to do that into the mic. I look at the statue. You aren't nearly pretty enough to be stupid as a rock. And I'm going to cast Bane on the statue.
Nice.
Okay. It has to make a...
Charisma.
What is that? Charisma?
Charisma. Yeah.
It fails.
All right. And so for 10
D4
minutes,
on all of its attacks off of it, or
and saving throws.
got it.
Saving for up to a minute, and it is concentration. I'll keep track of that.
Got it.
If I take damage.
Wunderbar. Anything else for you, Dice?
No, that's it.
Krun, you are up.
Right. Remembering how mechanics work in this game, Krun will once again, as the blade came down at Petunia and comes back around to go at Krun will bring the butt end of the maul around, kind of slamming it into this creature's face.
He is prone, so you have advantage.
That's the part I forgot last time.
Yep.
So the first roll was a 19 on the die. I'm going to go ahead and roll another 2 19s. Okay, so 23 to hit for 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
You got it. All right,
Plus
so
your 2 from raging,
+2.
right?
Plus 2 from raging. Thank you very much. 10 points. I remember how to be a PC, I swear.
As this thing is lying...
It's okay, barbarians aren't good at math. It's fine.
Checks out.
As this statue is lying on the ground, you bring your ancestral tree trunk down onto its face, and doing an immense crush of damage as one of the ears breaks off, and it looks up at you with an emotionless expression as the light begins to dim ever so slightly.
And as I'm standing there and shifting around, since Krun's got a really long reach, he's going to move a little bit, and he's going to shift around to be a little closer to his wise and venerable compatriot, Petunia, and to be there more as like a physical barrier in between. And his long, lanky limbs kind of sweep out and accidentally kick the or butt against the white stone, just to see if there's any reaction there.
Doesn't seem to be as you cross, and now with your more clear wisdom, you perceive more clearly that nothing is happening right now with the stone. And
Noted.
Petunia and Bud, you are up.
So seeing this happen to Petunia, Bud will pop out from hiding, and so, "You leave my Petunia alone!" And he will make an attack with his longbow.
Make the roll.
This is like the cartoony goblin I see of Bud is amazing.
I don't know if it's coming through.
It's like Kermit, where the whole head moves as he talks.
Jacob, I don't see any rolls.
Yeah, it's not happening on D&D Beyond either. Like, I'm not sure. Well, we're just gonna roll it physically.
Try to refresh.
I'll refresh in a second. All right. That will be a 17 to hit.
It is going to ping right off of the stone as it pays almost no attention to the blow.
All right. Well, seeing it having done nothing, he will go, "No, oh gosh," and he'll duck back down and hide again.
You got it. Well, wait a minute. Did you? Well, wait. You were hiding, correct?
Oh yeah. So I guess I would have had advantage on the attack.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. In the future, I probably won't do that as much. Now that I remember it.
That's an 18.
Just hits.
Point of order, though. He is prone, and it's a ranged attack.
Oh, that is right.
Yeah, then it misses.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
No, you're good. You're good.
Cool.
It's D&D at 10 in the morning with theater majors. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So Bud, in his usual typical ineffectiveness, will drop back down behind the boulder and hide again.
Petunia, however, will have advantage if she chooses to attack.
The way things operate currently, it's one or the other. So, as far as
it is.
Yeah.
Got it.
Unless we want to adopt the new rules from Tasha's, it is one or the other.
We'll just go with that. I wasn't completely aware of the Beastmaster. Never played one, but that is good to know. And we are now at its initiative, as it doesn't like all of the smashings that Krun is giving to its face, and decides to make its attacks in that direction instead. Your AC
Is it still prone?
Is going to stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
My armor class is 15.
15. All right. The first strike is going to hit you. It is going to do 5 points of bludgeoning damage as
Okay,
it strikes you with obsidian. Halved. So 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Because I am raging.
And it is going to make a second attack at you, which is a dirty 20. And that
Definitely
will do
hits.
6 points of bludgeoning damage, rounded down to 3.
Got it.
And moving on to Max.
Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action. I'm going to spend my 2 sorcery points to gain a spell slot. So what that looks like is I'm like trying to cast and like sparks popping off my hands. I'm like, I need something, and I flip through my book, and I'm like, I get to a page, and I'm like, this doesn't look important. And at the top of the page it says wish, and I tear the page out, and I crumple it up, and I eat it. And then I snap my spellbook shut, and it creates this swirl of magical energy above it, and then I thrust my hand forward, and the magical energy is going to fire towards the creature. So I'm casting chaos bolt. I'm going to try casting it on. That's a 24 to hit. Sorry, and the damage type that I rolled was thunder. Oh wait, no, sorry. I have to wait. Do I have to? How does this work? Choose damage type: thunder or acid. I guess I get to pick. Oh, because I rolled 2 ones. Okay. I'm gonna choose acid. So basically this like bolts of magical energy. It like starts out kind of like this like wispy white color, and as it travels, it turns green. And then when it actually hits the creature, it like spreads all over him as like almost like a pool, and the energy starts to burn into him.
Okay.
So that was a total of. Wait, where's? Oh, my damage roll didn't come through, did it?
No, sir.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, let me. What was this? I'm just gonna roll my damage because it disappeared on my screen here. Hang on.
That's all right.
I rolled 12 damage. Oh, and then it's an additional d6. Sorry. 12 plus 4, so 16 total.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries. As the energy ripples through it, you begin to see its body shaking almost apart as it drops it down definitively to its kind of base energy. The eyes begin to shut as the other boulder cracks on the other side. And
excellent.
It comes back up. However, the energy has not. So what you see before you is the eyes go down. The energy keeps crackling as it comes back up, and the energy continues going for another 11 points as it carries through.
So I've never cast that spell before. Basically, the way it works is I roll 2d8 for damage, and the d8s, the numbers on them determine the damage type. So I rolled, it was either lightning or thunder in that one. And so I get to choose what damage type it is, and then it does an additional d6, just standard damage. So that I've never cast that before, so I was just.
Oh yeah.
That's how that works. Yeah.
So this boulder is now cracked. However, this thing is looking to be in pretty rough shape as it goes into Dice's turn if Max has nothing else to do.
Yeah, that was action, bonus action. I'm good.
All right, so Dice continues coming around to the end, and he looks over at Max and goes,
Hey, Max, Master of the Elements, Watch this.
And I'm going to cast Earth Tremor as well on the statue.
And it has to make a dex save.
Yep, of 13.
Right on the dice, 13. So it makes it save.
Oh. And I just kind of look devastated.
Hey, what was that supposed to do, huh?
As the tremor kind of like fizzles out in the energy as it comes up, but the statue now has learned, and it just kind of moves its feet along and then stands still before all of you. Do you have anything else you wish to do with your turn dice?
No. I'll just keep it at that.
Then Krun, son of Kern, has arrived.
Okay.
He's no longer prone.
No longer prone.
He's no longer prone. However, entering a deeper state of focus, and I have become one with my weapon, and my fighting stance rage becomes even more focused as Krun recklessly attacks. So again, going with advantage with the maul. So the second wow. He is thrown off a little bit by the tremoring of the earth as he swings and just chips fly off the plinth behind it, probably hitting Petunia. And
wait, did you
ducks?
Did you roll at advantage?
I rolled a D20 just in addition on
got it.
Astral Table, and that came up as an 8, which based
gotcha.
off the rolls we've been hearing isn't even close to enough. So so he focuses in and he tries this move that his father taught him and just misses completely and chips fly off the plinth as he clobbers into it with his maul.
Boom! As this blow lands, you see this statue as it looks down at the maul. It then looks at the wounded Petunia, and Bud, you see the obsidian begin to raise. What do you wish to do? It is your turn.
Okay. Bud will pop back out one more time and make another attack. This time with advantage, since it is up. Let's see. Let's see if this comes through this time. Oh my god, this is wild. So, yeah, at a +7, that's a 13 and a 10. So
13.
He misses again. I'm done using this online dice roller. My rolls on this thing have been such garbage. He will duck back down. Petunia will take the dodge action and run over behind the other one. So if it makes an opportunity attack, it does so with disadvantage.
Okay. All right. So if you Petunia is now running. All right. That is a 19 to roll as Petunia.
Yeah.
Petunia tries to scramble away, and whoa, wait a minute. Takes 3 points of bludgeoning damage from a 1 on the damage roll.
She is still up by 1 hit point.
It's just like the teeny tip of her tail. Wham! No! Is now smashed to the floor.
And she ducks behind the boulder there. She can't actually take a hide action, but sure. Bud will hide again behind his own.
All right. And now, Krun, being the only one there standing before the statue, makes its first attack A nat 20 on the roll.
All right, here we are. Let's do this.
Here we are.
Which leaves us.
Good news, guys. We've got that full heal back there in our pocket.
Actually, with the Meeks family, like that could be a whole nother one there.
The Meeks giveth, and we taketh away. You know.
That's right.
Nine bludgeoning damage to you, Krun. So rounded down to 5.
Yes, sir.
As the
Looks like we
second
got
attack.
another.
Yeah, speaking
Now
of
comes in.
people having generosity, Lonnie just donated $10. Thank you, Lonnie.
Yeah.
Asking
Lonnie's
to...
one of my Lonnie's one of my good friends from school.
Okay, well, that is grant 1 inspiration point to one player or DM, but they did not specify. So since they are your friend, I say it goes to you.
That's
Yeah.
I'll let that up to Brandon.
What's that?
So I'll leave that up to Brandon.
No, yeah, go ahead, take it. I'm totally down.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Lonnie.
fine by me, of course.
You're awesome.
And the second roll there, Krun, comes down for you and whiffs out of the way as you kind of deflect, and some of the bark comes off your ancestral tree branch. And now it is Max's, yes, Max at the top of the order.
Okay, so I'm seeing the statue. I'm like, okay, we tried the earth, we tried the acid, fire, and then I'm going to like throw my hands out and cast Firebolt.
All right, make your attack roll.
Okay, that's a nat 1. I'm going to use Tides of Chaos. That's my Wild Mage ability that lets me gain advantage. Let's try that again. Oh, that was almost a nat 20. Okay, it's a 19 to hit.
It's going to hit. Roll your damage.
All right. Damage is 7 fire damage. So I throw my hands out. This firebolt forms and hits the statue. It shoots out and then it fizzles. And I'm like, I just get like really angry and my eyes kind of glow. And I'm like, no! And then it like fizzles back into existence right before it hits the statue.
Boom! As it explodes, the blue lights totally go out. And then a faint white light comes to the eyes. The statue pulls away from Krun, sets itself back into
as it pulls
former
away.
Place.
I would like to take an attack of opportunity as I am
do it.
technically
Make your
raging.
attack.
So, seeing my enemy step away from me, and after deflecting the last blow, I just come straight across the face with it.
And make your roll.
While you roll that, Lonnie piped up in chat and said that it was actually intended for Bud to help protecting Petunia.
Yay!
That's fair.
So,
Not even
All right. 21 to hit, 12 points, 13, 14 points of bludgeoning damage. Best roll.
All right.
so far.
As you do that, you chip off one of the ear that was chipped. You completely slam it off as the blow lands, and it continues back to its spot. And with nothing else doing, it brings the obsidian blade back to its chest. The light completely leaves its eyes, and the room becomes a bit quieter. What you now realize is that the 6 stones vibrate gently and begin to glow with the same white energy. Anyone that looking at the stones will note that they begin to open and reveal compartments somehow set into the stone. And from the first stone comes a simple, worn, red leather ball from this stone. It comes out, you all see it roll of its own energy and accord and make a beeline towards Dice Clay.
I
As
start
it
backing
rolls.
up.
As you back up, it continues rolling very steadily towards you.
Guys, what is this? What is this? Guys?
As you run across the space, run in the front of the statue, this thing just picks up its pace. It doesn't have to follow too hard. And it just, as you moving around, if you eventually come to a stop, it kind of slows down and stays at your feet.
Okay, I want to take this moment as I'm staring at this ball, and I look at poor Petunia over there and her wounds and bleeding, and I look at Bud, and I say, you know, if you were any more inbred, Bud, you'd be in a sandwich. And I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Petunia.
Got it.
I don't get it. Petunia! And he runs across over there, and as you do that, he as well pulls out a pouch of berries that he has with him, and he starts feeding her a couple of the berries that he has. Good berries for mechanical purposes.
What is the HP heal on Petunia?
7.
7.
She is healed for 7.
Petunia.
Fantastic.
And against my better judgment, I'll pick up the ball.
Okay. You pick it up. It actually doesn't do anything. It looks like you've seen some balls like this before. It's kind of like a juggling ball. It's just leather, simple, But as it looks before you, it seems to be benign. You can do as you wish with it.
It's a juggling ball, and I only got one of them. What am I going to do with one ball? I mean, my uncle had a problem with that, but...
Now,
at this point in initiative, it comes back around to Krun, and Krun attacks the statue.
Okay. As you attack the statue again, make your attack roll.
13, and then I will use the inspiration granted to me for 14.
You will miss.
It's a little slow on the uptake, man.
14. Yeah. You will miss on that attack as you kind of. Well, it's not going to miss necessarily. You're just hammering this thing, and the stone is strong, and you are not affecting it. However, you do note, the rest of you will note that behind Krun, the opening from there, another ball emerges. This one is orange. This one is yellow. And it moves up in between Krun's legs.
And he's oblivious to it.
Yeah, well, it then also makes its way up and kind of begins to roll up the statue in front of your face, Krun, as you are looking at the statue.
That might be enough to break him out of what he's doing.
Oh, get the ball.
To interrupt again real quick, thank you very much, Brian, for a donation of another $10 there for another inspiration point. Unfortunately, this one also not specifying to who. So if you're in chat there with us and you had it intended for a specific person, just let us know.
How is Brian spelled? Is it Bryan?
It is.
Okay, yeah, that is one of my really good friends. I will take the inspiration for myself to use for myself or others until he specifies otherwise.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. You are awesome. And let us get back to business. Krun, have you altered or seen this ball in front of you?
He has seen it, and as he was swinging, he kind of slows down and goes through a motion as if he is sheathing a blade, even though it's a tree branch, and looks at it kind of funny. Turns to the rest of the party. I have defeated the enemy.
You sure did.
Nice.
You did it, bud. It was all you.
No, that's Brad. And he points at Bud.
Sorry, you're right. It was all you, Kern. Whatever your name is. Big one.
Good job, champ. Good job.
Thank
Now
you
go play with your
very
ball.
much. And he
Brian.
walks down the chamber, like away from the statue. ignoring the ball at this point,
Great. As
or
you
or
walk
not
away,
realizing it's there.
as you walk away from it, it follows up behind you and goes between your legs. And another shout out to Brian. He just sent a Discord message to me that said, "Wait, I did specify." It said to Brandon, the Almighty Game Master, "Smite thy players and drink their tears."
Oh, interesting.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Those details just may not be coming through.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's not there in the comments on here, but
No worries. But thank you, Brian. And if they deserve it, I shall. I shall.
It pops up in the Extra Life page, so I'll keep that open.
Got it.
I have it up as well, but it's not showing there.
Wonderful and good to know. So let us continue along. As the yellow ball continues to follow you, Krun, notice it or not, the rest of you notice that it follows and stops when Krun stops. And now an orange ball emerges here and makes its way for you, Max. What do you do?
Yeah. Hey, Bill, I think we're getting some audio feedback from you.
My mic's muted.
I'm seeing you activated, and we're hearing Brandon loop back through.
I want to kick the ball when it gets close to me.
Okay. As you kick it, make just like an attack roll to hit it.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay. Unarmed strike.
That fix it?
Mm-mm.
I got a 4.
You try and kick at it, and as you kick, it literally like whoop, backs up, and then like right under your foot again, like as it comes back down. And make an acrobatics check to avoid face planting from the like now ball underneath your foot.
I got a 21 on that one.
Your weight up. Yeah, you're fine. You kind of just slip a bit, and then the ball rolls back and then just shakes, and then just kind of like its stitches kind of like turn up towards you like.
What do you want?
And as you do that, it just kind of rolls back and forth towards you.
I'll kneel down and put my hands out to it.
It hops up into your hand.
Okay. I'm going to put it in my pocket.
Okay. And so now, near Petunia and Bud, 2 more balls have rolled out of their respective compartments and roll towards the 2 of you. A light blue, almost turquoise leather ball comes to Bud, and a darker royal blue to Petunia as these balls kind of come in front of the 2 of you. How do you respond?
There's one for myself and for Petunia.
Mm-hmm.
Bud will probably take a few steps back behind Petunia, and Petunia will, feeling much more invigorated with the consumption of a few tasty good berries, will roll up and give a at the ball that rolled towards her.
As Petunia sniffs, it just kind of like taps her little nose as she's down there.
She will like try and like flip it up with her nose and like see if it'll like land on her back like she's used to carrying her little babies and such around, trying to like just carry it with her, or like pick it up and try and like hold it there.
As she kind of heaves it up, the ball actually kind of like misses her back, but then it like hovers back around her head and then lands on her back, and she feels it as she moves. It kind of rolls and keeps a perfect like balance and center on her spine as she kind of moves around.
She's just kind of like starts strutting around like and is super proud of herself and will roll the other ball over towards Bud, who will then pick it up as well.
Yeah, sure. As she moves out of the way, Bud is left kind of cowering behind, and as he's covering his face with his arms and hands, the ball kind of loops around to where he's looking straight down at it, and it just kind of boop.
And he will pick it up as well since Petunia has done so.
Has Kern, son of Kern, picked his up yet?
No.
I have to ask him. No, he has not.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk over and pick it up because obviously of what's going on, and I'm gonna pick the
As
ball
you
up.
go to pick it up, it will not let you pick it up. It goes away from your hand,
Okay.
and like kind of loops around and goes towards Kern's foot.
Then I'm gonna point at it and look at Kern and be like,
Hey, buddy, you dropped something.
and I'm gonna roll a deception check if you don't mind to try to convince him.
Don't roll a 1.
Go ahead, make the check.
That's a 10.
Okay. Krun believes you completely. Did not realize I dropped. And he stuffs it in a pocket. As
There
if
it
it was
is.
his the whole time.
Smooth.
There is one last ball that emerges from the final stone, and it is like a forest green. As it comes forward, it begins to move around the space to each of you. To some of you, so Petunia, it rolls up, it stops, it kind of nudges a bit, and then backs away quickly. To Bud, backs away, and each in turn, it goes to each one of you, and kind of just goes to the center of the room and stays there.
Someone dropped their ball, and I will try to pick it up.
It will not let you pick it up.
I will
Pulls
chase it around the room, trying to pick it up.
Yes, make an acrobatics check to try and grab this thing. As you are running around the room, you are
5.
chasing it. It will not. However long you continue to go with this, it will stay away from you.
Krun will continue to attempt until prompted otherwise.
Sure.
Petunia will join this, but she will actually take the ball off of her back into her mouth and try and like touch it to the other ball to see if she can get them to like stay together in some way, shape, or form to bring it along.
Well, it will not it'll let the other ball touch it since Petunia is not trying to grab it, and it kind of backs up, and then it rolls to the front of the alcove, and you see it kind of disappear into the water and beyond. So with the fountain, it's hard to see what is happening past it.
Petunia will look up at Krun and just go, meow, meow, and put her ball back on her back and head out of the cave.
Okay.
As Bud trails behind, like he does.
Is anyone doing anything in particular as you leave?
I'm still curious. So Dice is gonna look up and be like,
This is y'all's god, right? I mean, our god, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And as you all remember, and you begin to realize that these must be the holy relics of Cloaklilk, which you have been sent by your tribe to find.
Okay, we go home now.
So the relics are just bowls.
I mean, they're a nicer ball than I've ever had before.
I mean, obviously some kind of magic, but well, let me look. I'm gonna examine my ball a little closer. Is there anything I can tell about
This
it?
is a family show.
I'm examining my balls.
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. I nat 1. It's a ball.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm
It
pretty
is a ball
sure
very, very clearly moves of
magical
its own
metal
accord.
ball.
Very clearly moves of its own accord, but you do not know from where this power may come.
There's nothing in my book about this, and I like rifle through it, and there's several torn pages. Maybe it was one of the pages that I ate.
Mr. Master of the Elements there, sir, can you make those little ice things come back again?
Yes, of course. I'm a master of elements, like you just said. I'll cast to shape water twice more and put the little frozen blocks back.
Okay. The frozen blocks come back. You all make it across without much difficulty. And how are you going about this from here?
Where's the ball? Did it disappear? The green one?
The green one emerges from the water as you all are crossing the ice, and it begins to roll out of the front of the cave.
Bud and Petunia would like to follow it and track it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, as you note, coming out of the front of the cavern, you see the ball, and it kind of turns. You see this. You can see from the stitches kind of which directionality it has, and it turns towards you, and then looks to the bridge, and then like rolls back and forth towards it.
Like towards the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. We follow it to the bridge.
Krun, son of Kern, will follow the ball with an almost childlike glee.
Sure. And as it goes across, it rolls across the rope. On parts where it can't roll, it'll kind of zigzag in and out across the wood. One part, it kind of rolls off and slides and kind of falls, begins to fall into the abyss, at which point you see it kind of float, levitate, and fly back up, land on the rope, and continue across. And at this point, we can state that you have had enough experience with this bridge that you may cross it without much difficulty or effort.
Bud immediately pulls his rope back out and looks at me and says, "Don't forget your seatbelt, Petunia!" And like begins to tie the rope back around the two of them again so that they can help each other back across.
Great.
So as the ball goes across, Krun, son of Kern, just gleefully and carefree follows the ball across the rope bridge, and it's like shaking and bouncing, and anybody who may have started on it like stumbles back, and then he gets to the other side and he turns back. Are we going?
Yes. As you get to the other side, you kind of see the ball kind of look towards you all, but kind of go moving back the way you came, it seems.
Are we really taking commands from a leather ball?
It's wait, what did you call it earlier? It's a legendary artifact, Brandon?
A relic.
It's a relic of the gods. It's a good idea.
Checks out.
And at this point, barring any other business you would like to do here, we shall move into travel, if you wish.
Is this a good place for a super quick body break?
Smile?
Oh.
That might be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's do that real quick.
2 minutes.
Yeah,
You don't have a bucket?
I do. It's full. That's why I've got to.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We're going to take just a short, quick break here real fast, and then we will be back just long enough to step away and refresh ourselves a little bit. Reminder to everybody that any further donations do enter you into our drawing for the Book of Tasha's at the end of this session and the following break before we start the next session. Thank you all again so much for your donations, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Now, and we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Thanks everybody that has joined us, that has donated. We've raised 1,035 US dollars, 35 over our goal. However, do not let that stop you from donating, please. It is for Norton Children's Hospital and Medical Center and our contribution to Extra Life's Game Day. We're all trying to do our part to help through being major dorks. And getting back to
Major
it.
dork?
Yeah.
Major dork?
Colonel?
Let us get back into our Goblin Shenanigan and continue. So, you traverse the path back to your homelands over the next few days and finally arrive at the ancestral village of your people, nestled inside the cave of the Wise Ones. One thing that is strange as you find your way here is that there is no guard posted. And let me add the party.
Quick question: over the next few days, so a long rest will have occurred? Okay.
Yes. So let us
great.
long rest up. We are all set. Nothing of note. In fact, the travel to the Valley of Forgetting isn't that far in actual objective terms. I mean, 3 days, but for you all, it was immense. However,
we just forgot it was that close.
Yeah, you quickly, yes, exactly. The goblins, being who they are, have not paid a lot of heed or mind to their history or past. And you are now arrived. There's no guard posted. And as you make your way towards the cave entrance, there is scarcely a sound except for the surrounding forest.
Is that strange that there's no guard posted?
Yes.
Looks like there's a couple of us that are missing from this layer here. I see Kron, Dice, and Bud, but that's all the tokens that I see on here. At the moment.
I'm here.
I've got Bud and Petunia.
Just
Maybe refresh your page.
Just hoping this doesn't jack up the stream. Hang tight, everybody.
Sorry, that was mine. I refreshed mine. So sorry. Like a goofball.
Okay, there we go.
Let me get back into it.
Now we're good.
All right, there we are. Wonderful. I think I'm back in as well. Great. How are we going about?
Probably muttering to myself, Bill's been slacking off again. He's probably napping somewhere.
And Kron is oblivious and is wandering in we're home.
Yes, and as you step inside, you note no one has responded as they hear you. Normally there's some hubbub as the kind of initial room actually houses some families and the guards, but nothing.
Heroes of the realm return, and this is the welcome we receive.
Yeah, my wisdom is just a general wisdom to see how Kron would figure it out as a 4. So bum 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 bum.
As we come up to the silent area, the worry and typical overcaution of Bud has him super spooked, and Petunia would like to take a sniff to see if she smells anything odd in the area.
Yes, make a perception check, Petunia.
17 with her keen senses.
Okay, so not only with the keen senses, but because I'm giving advantage for this particular advantage that she would have. Petunia recently, as all of you know, had given birth to a litter of joeys, and they, in the previous months, have been growing, much as dire possums will, and they have been housed near the whelps inside the cave. Petunia, you smell joeys around you somehow. You're not quite sure why, and then the hackles on your neck raise, and Petunia immediately thinks of the alcove where her joeys have been put while she is off with Bud.
And she just takes off, just sprinting, and Bud will follow.
Petunia will know. Yeah, Petunia will know exactly where those are, but as it currently goes, what are the rest of you doing as she darts off?
I mean, if Petunia and Bud dart off, I'll dart off after them.
Okay.
So I haven't been with the Tribe of the Wise Ones for a while, but this is all new. It's not normally like this.
No, not normally like this. You normally, there's usually a guard or two out front. Inside, you hear some noise. Goblins are loud. And as Petunia runs past, I can bring you, as she's darting, I'll just take control of Petunia if you don't mind real quick. And as she darts past, there, I'll say she doesn't pay too much attention to that figure there. And I'll just kind of point you in the direction where she'll be going. The rest of you, we'll say that she just makes like double time. Dice, you spot a trail of blood as you follow it towards what you see as Geki, who is a goblin that is familiar to you, one of the guards, lying against the wall, eyes closed, not moving.
Flick my ashes, take a big draw off my cigar.
Well, that's not good. We got a dead guard over here.
Is he dead? Can I make a medicine check?
Yeah, make a medicine check.
His eyes are closed and he's covered in blood. I don't think he's sleeping comfortably. I think he's dead, Max.
What was the medicine check?
7.
7. So as you go to touch Geki, he jolts awake.
He's a zombie! He's a zombie!
He reaches out for you, Max. He says,
Soft skins. Soft skins. They came. Couldn't stop them.
as he falls back against the wall.
I look at Dice. What do we do?
What the hell's a soft skin?
Humies.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Yeah. Oh, no, bad humans.
Max, you note, make a perception check.
It's not very good. 13.
Yeah, you note that this Geki is still breathing. And his eyes are shut real tight.
Oi, wake up! I slap him.
As you slap him, he goes, he reaches out for you. He says,
so many of them overpowered me. The others are gone.
He over elaborately rolls against the wall in a dramatic death throw.
And is still alive.
But he's winded from the effort and still breathing heavily. Like he's winded from the performance.
So
and you see him
as Bud runs past in hot pursuit of Petunia, he will take a good berry and throw it to Max and say, "Hey, give him something to make him be quiet, Petunia." Throw you a single good berry.
Yeah.
So I'm holding the good berry, and then in my other hand, I produce like a little mote of fire. And I'm like, You know, Dice, I hear that fire is the best at cauterizing wounds, and it seems that will be the best to do in this situation. I'm going to make an intimidation roll.
Okay, as you make your intimidation check with advantage.
Great. Okay, first one is a 13. Second roll. Okay, we're gonna go with 13.
Okay, you bring the flame towards him, and as you kind of get it even just a little moderately closer, and he feels the heat. You see him. I think I'd be fine. Just a little woozy. Best find the others. And he gets up and starts limping past you all, and continues further into the space. Petunia, we can. Go ahead, Dice. I don't want to interrupt.
I was going to say, hey, look, Max, he's playing possum, and I
Look back for Petunia and Bud.
You see that Petunia and Bud have now disappeared, and Petunia, you come into the place where your Joeys normally are. You see the hay bed that they normally are kept in, and it is empty.
She will lose her freaking mind and start scrambling everywhere, digging up the hay, digging in the other beddings that she knows they hide in sometimes, looking in this little like hut. I think this is what this is.
Yeah, those are
just
all
just tearing everything up back and forth, just and just going and going and going and going and looking for anything.
None of the beds or have any of them in it, and Petunia starts to realize that there are no, however she perceives of goblins, there are none of those whelps in here either. In fact, there's not many goblins in here, and Petunia starts to notice. And Bud now runs around the corner.
Oh, Petunia! What? Where is everyone?
And Petunia just is like going nuts still, but is at this point trying to see if she can like track a scent of any kind. So yeah, she and Bud will.
What kind of scent is Petunia trying to pick up?
If anything weird stands out from what she would have expected. So like if there's a strange scent here.
Cool. Make a perception check with advantage, and I will cross over now to Dice, Max, and Krun. As you all see Geki kind of moving towards deeper in what you expect. You all know the layout of this place very well. So you know that there are key areas. You know that, I don't know if you all can see that one. So anyway, you know that there is a kind of major living space where there are several more tents. And you also know that in times of trouble, there is always the Cavern of Valor that the goblins retreat to.
Which is where?
To the north, from where you all are, you know that you take a right at this passage. So to the north, east of this map.
I look at Max and I'm like, you
go handle Bud and the possum. I'll follow Jackie.
Yeah, right.
So Max, I assume you do so. Krun, what are you up to?
Krun has fallen out of sight in the back, and they will find him napping when they come back around.
Great. Okay.
He saw another
Geki,
goblin. He thinks everything's fine.
Geki moves further down into the path. Dice, as you follow him, you can pick up that trail. Max, you come around the corner, and you see Bud and Petunia. Petunia has furiously scrambled the room. There are no whelps inside this place. You know that you spent your formative years here. This is where the weaned whelps stay and are taught, and even the little ones are kept to keep them all in the same place and help everyone care for the whelps, the children of the community, communally. You know that something is wrong.
I'll put my hand on Bud's shoulder. And I'm like, there's been an attack. The Humies, they came in, and Geki says that there was too many of them. But I don't know what else happened. He's been a bit of a prick, to be honest.
Petunia, what was your role on that? I'm sorry.
That was an 11.
At 11, you definitely pick up the smell of a smell that is not goblin smell, but you know it's a being.
She probably hears me say that too.
Yeah, and you hear him say, if you can understand common, you hear him say humans or humies. So you kind of have an idea. I'll leave it up to Petunia and your history as if she knows what a human is, if she's ever encountered one.
In her bit of a craze right now, Bud just looks at Max and just with these sad puppy dog eyes and looks at him and goes,
They're all gone. They the Joeys and the kids that somebody came and took them, and I can't. Petunia's too worked up. Hold on a second. And he will cast Speak with Animals to get a little better read of exactly what Petunia has to say.
Okay.
So as he does so, he walks over and like bends down and offers Petunia a good berry, like trying to get her to calm down. It's okay. Just talk to me. I can understand you better now. I think. Just tell me. And she will look at him and go, "My bud, they've taken the children. They've taken them. The humans. They've come and taken them. We must avenge the children. We must seek them out. Come with me, my bud!" And she just books it out of the cave following the scent.
Remind me, does that spell only work like between the two people, or can I understand her as well?
Unfortunately, it does only work on self.
So
that's what he hears all the
Catherine
time.
Hepburn?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did see her intently look at Bud and whole thing, like single tear like down the side of the face. Like,
given the Winston Churchill speech, we'll fight him to the beaches.
Yeah. We will fight them in a hole, in a tree.
So Bud turns back to Max as Petunia runs off and says, "The humans came and took them. I think she's got a scent."
And yeah, Max, as you see all that dice, you have been led basically over to what you know as the secret cavern, as Geki kind of removes a few rocks and kind of goes in. He continues past. What do you wish to do?
Oh, Geki's acting kind of weird. Follow him in.
Sure. As you come in, you see another familiar face. You know this goblin. It is a female goblin named Satch. And she is armed as she sees you, and she says, "Oh, heroes!" She shouts down the hall, "The heroes have returned!"
I turn around and look behind me.
Oh, you mean us?
We retreated to the Cave of Valor when the soft skins came. There were too many. Creel, Trackbolt, her ricks were taken. The whelps, too. They didn't kill anyone. Put all in cages.
I think I just understand this. The Cave of Valor is really where we go to hide.
It's the
Welcome
better
to the-
part of Valor.
You've been hanging on to that for so long.
Maybe I have. You set them up, I knock them down. Anyway,
They took them all away. Must want to take them and eat them at a later date.
They came here and are you telling me they just took the kids and that's it?
Took the kids and more. Creel, Trackbolt, Ricks. Have you not been paying attention, hero?
and then she says,
Grandammy Graka is gone. She must have been captured too. We
Oh,
need
thank
her.
God.
and then she comes up and taps you in the chest aggressively.
We needed our heroes. What do we do now?
Well, we were sent on a quest and we just got back.
She just looks at you.
But heroes are meant to help their people.
Yeah. We'll get the kids back. Who else you says missing? The old lady. The really annoying old lady.
Grandammy Graka. She is beloved. Don't say mean things, or else she will say mean things and then beat you with sticks, like she did all of us growing up.
From my goblin tribe, annoying means very special and honored.
Make a deception check.
Why can I not find it? There it is. And 8.
These online rolls, man.
Yeah.
Still enough, she says.
Level 2.
Yes,
Level
very.
2.
Oh, well then, yes. Thank you for your respect. Very annoying, Grand Demigrac is very annoying.
Oh no!
I look at her very wistfully, and I go, trying not to tear.
You're up. Yes, yes. She is very, very annoying.
Make sure you let her know next time.
At which point, Satch kind of like grabs you, Dice, and says, "Very, very well. I will show you the path that they took." And she kind of starts to run out of the front of the cave, or run towards the front of the cave. At this point, Petunia, Kron, you and napping, you feel like a burst of, like a little whiff of wind past you. If that wakes you up at all, then yes. Then Bud zooms past you. Max as well. You all kind of converge as Dice and Satch kind of run to the front of the cave as well.
Where go?
You hear Satch, Krun, you hear Satch cry out, "Follow, heroes! Follow!" She runs out the front of the cave.
What? How did you get up out of the cave?
I don't know.
Here, I'll get you back.
Yeah, it somehow crossed me over the wall, and now I can't get my icon back. Thanks.
Bud is having an existential crisis right now.
It's okay. I'm a master of the elements. I can get you out.
Hashtag Nightcrawler problems.
So as everybody's running, Kron's like, "What do we just got back?"
Petunia's like, "Meow, meow, 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 meow," and just
and then Max says, "Yeah, what she said."
Satch, walks down the path, and Petunia, make a perception check with advantage.
23 on that one.
Solid.
You smell your Joeys immediately, Petunia, and you kind of follow a trail, follow the scent trail. But then what you definitively notice is all of you following Petunia. There are wagon tracks, kind of still fresh and small where Petunia has stopped. You can clearly tell there. Anyone that's trying to continue to follow them or try and notice them?
In a strange moment of like, where did he gain this knowledge thing? Krun leans down and kind of puts his hand in the wagon tracks, and it is a large cart, heavy laden, team of 2, 4 wheels, maybe.
What is that? What was that roll?
That just Krun knows wagons really well, and he's bullshitting.
You're good. No, I just wanted to know what the roll was if you had made one, because it sounded like a good roll, so I was going to give you more info.
No, he has proficiency in land vehicles, because why not?
Nice. Yeah, you got it.
So he's just bullshitting.
Yeah. I pat your leg. I'm like, sure it is, mate. Because like even if he knows all of this, like none of us believe him.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah, the actual survival roll he rolls is a 1. So
yeah, who is actually looking for tracks here?
Petunia and Bud would be absolutely making survival rolls here.
Yeah.
And let's see if these are specifically humans or halflings, then I have advantage on the survival checks.
Yeah, then make them both advantage for both of them. Petunia because of her Joeys, and Bud just because of the mechanic.
Favorite down to me.
All right. Those stayed on my side instead of coming through beyond, but that is a 23 and a 22 respectively.
Nice.
Ooh. All right, you find these trails. Is anyone else bothering to try and find the trails, or are we just going to go with those?
I'm obsessed with the fact that I recognize what a wagon track is.
Right.
Wilderness
so
is not. I was
Go
going
ahead,
to say, wilderness is not my strong suit. I'm just going to set up here against the wall and think about what Satch told me, because she was so excited. I couldn't remember if she said more than the kids and the Joeys were taken.
Make an intelligence check.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, nice.
Natural
That's
20.
funny.
For a total
it
of
sounded
21.
Like 3 goblins have been taken: Rix, Trackbolt, and Creel. Grand Emigraca likely as well. And you know that the Joeys and the children must be missing. Your count, probably about 6 whelps, the goblin children, and about the same amount of Joeys, 6 Joeys.
So Rix, Trackbolt, and Creo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I know
So those are
anything
the ones
about
you
those
know.
3?
You know that they're kind of standard workers. Creel is kind of a numbskull, even by goblin standards. Very cowardly. Their Trackbolt, you kind of have shot the breeze with Trackbolt a bit. He's more streetwise, kind of fast-talking goblin. And Rix is a female goblin that does hunting mostly, and gathering and trapping. Anything else you wish to know?
No, that's it.
Okay. So with those rolls, those survival rolls, Petunia immediately picks up the trail.
Bud and Petunia are
continues
like
to follow
sitting
it.
over top of things and like pointing things back to each other. But it's like, yeah, see, there's like this many over here. Petunia's like, and they are just like hot on the trail. But right before they go, Bud goes, wait, I almost forgot. And he runs back into the cave real quick and comes back out with his lucky hat.
Don't forget the lucky.
Time for some thrilling heroics.
Okay, guys, let's
Bud
do it.
Doesn't want to forget his hat from the mountain goblins that had come on a trading expedition, and his head is always much warmer when he wears this hat.
Much warmer, much better for tracking.
Head warming.
Much better for tracking.
Yeah.
Keeps the juices flowing.
Actually, and depending upon the generosity in the air, the hat actually is known to change form from time to time. It is indeed. Great. Crun, you, in kind of getting these tracks, you actually realize that what you've said is true. And as you kind of come back to realization, you look down. Anyone looking at him realize that the Sean Connery gray recedes and disappears, and you regain your strength as the wisdom leaves you. But your arms and your the sinews of your muscles become stronger and tighter just even as you speak, and you lunge forward to continue the track. Max and Dice, are you continuing along?
Yes. Yeah, I'll follow them.
Great. As you go, so Bud and Petunia, with those survival rolls, you have been able to determine a couple things. So, the trails are of a wagon. It seems like a 4-wheeled wagon pulled by 2 horses. There are tracks near and around it. So it seems that there are 4 humans on foot. And there is also another horse out in front, it seems, from the tracks, separate from the wagon. And this is the information you gather as you go forward. And how are we going about this as you track and come closer?
Crun will continue to follow behind, kind of following other people's leads, keeping a wary eye out for the dangers of the world.
Got it. The forest quickly quickly closes around all of you as you follow the wagon tracks, keeping a moderate pace as you are taking time to follow the tracks. But Petunia, being hot on the trail with her animal senses pulling ahead, you are just trying to keep up with her at many parts of the journey. The songs of birds and occasional deer or squirrel momentarily catch your eyes as you continue following. And after about 3 hours, Bud and Petunia note that the tracks are seeming fresher and far more defined, and something in the distance can be scarcely made out. What do you wish to do now?
So at some point during those 3 hours, I realized that Krun has no idea what we're doing, and then I explained to him what happened in the cave.
Make an intelligence check, Krun.
Yeah, huh?
All right. It's an
Okay,
11.
11.
Okay, Krun, or Max, it takes you, let's see. It takes you a total of 3 times repeating the whole story for Krun to understand what the sheer scope of everything going on. It's a lot of moving pieces here for Krun.
Yeah.
And the wisdom has left him, as you very clearly can tell from the beard.
He asked some questions that have no bearing whatsoever on what happened, and I'm like,
Yes,
no,
but-
what? No!
But what's for lunch?
It's not important.
But why goblins?
But
Are you kidding? I just told you.
Where's our wagon?
About the third time going through this, Dice steps in.
Max, let me handle it, okay? And I look at
I look at Kern. And
I say, they stole your lunch.
But who stole my wagon?
Your lunch was on the wagon. They stole your lunch that was on the wagon.
And so at this point, it's like, I don't know, like halfway through the journey, and Krun's eyes flash a little bit, and he rages and starts running down the track and overtakes Petunia and Bud and goes the wrong way, and then like you corral him back in, and
he just runs off. You just see him like buzzing into the distance and kind of veering off the trail as Petunia just and just kind of keeps going.
Okay, that is one rage use for the day.
you see, Max. He's a man of simple needs. You can't explain too much to him. His brain just don't work like that.
And
so Bud and Petunia are continuing on, seeing and feeling that we're getting close, and Bud being a little more in his tracking, hunting element here. They, as soon as we feel like we're within range of like reasonably close, we'll start stealthing.
Okay, make your stealth roll.
Let's see. Ooh, it's not great. It's a 13.
Okay. Using the foliage and such to your advantage, you are able to... are you wanting to kind of follow directly behind, or are you kind of wanting to go about this a different way? Like
probably trying and if we're close enough to see like directly where they're at, like if they have a distinct path that they're following, rather than being straight behind, it'd probably be off to the side, like following from on a sidelong path.
Here's what I will do. Okay, I'm going to put you all on the map.
Beautiful.
You find yourself in the forest, in the woods, and let's see. I'm going to try and find a spot for Bud so I just want to try and give you, Bud, a visual. So I'm going to move you.
Okay.
And
if it matters, Bud and Petunia would be like completely together. So.
Sure. I just want you to see it. So I'm moving your character so that you kind of know where they are.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
you see some guards in the distance near a wagon. Okay. wagon bearing a large wooden cage, and you can scarcely make out 3 small creatures with a green tinge to their skin. Make a perception check.
21.
There is a large human driver that seems to be armored, but also just sizable, athletic. 3 armored guards, a brutish-looking individual in the back that looks to be carrying a heavy crossbow, and finally, riding out in front of the wagon, a heavily armed horseman and a barded, so an armored mount, lightly armored.
Are they heading toward the direction that I see them, or are they heading
they are heading
across us?
So as far as the map is concerned, if you zoom out, they are heading across you. So basically they are going north.
So they're headed this way? Or
let's see.
Diagonally up and to the right.
They're headed this direction.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Except obviously kind of further out.
Yeah. Okay. So having spotted all this, Bud will come back and relay that information, the like count and number of the guards. There's several of them, but they got them in cages. They're coming along this path here. I think if we hide up real good and get the jump on them, we might be able to save them.
Why are we jumping on lunch?
Because it needs saving.
They have my wagon.
Yes.
They sure do. Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah.
And Krun will move 30 feet, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then we'll dash 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that's his turn.
Okay. You're a bugbear. Are you making a stealth check?
I technically can. I'm a bugbear. I am proficient in stealth. I think it's a whopping... Oh, there we go. Abilities and save. +5, so natural 20.
Nice.
Boom. Krun wants his lunch.
Krun is he is using his bugbear ancestry to kind of lively dive through these as lively as a nearly 7 foot tall creature can go. Harry and the Henderson style.
But what you all see is
all right, so Krun takes off. What are the rest of you doing?
Petunia would probably run up with him, also looking to rescue her joeys, and Bud would follow suit. So they'll all kind of come up here to this ridge line, trying to stealth and prepare themselves to try and get the drop on people.
I look at Dice and I say, you know, I both know they have no chance without us. So let's go.
I
take a really quick draw of like the high school teenager and the bell just rang off my cigar and like flick it and go running after Max.
I'm imagining those cigars are just like filled with leaves, like just
cloves. It's so annoying. They're filled with cloves. Like it's like being at the really horrible goth club when you were a kid.
It's the wrong time to take a drink.
Bill, the awful part is that's where
God.
we met.
I know.
That's very funny. Well,
True
so
story.
yes, seeing now, Bud, you have a clear picture of the mounted horseman wearing chainmail. It looks like you've heard stories of knights in shining armor that terrorize poor goblin communities, and will not stop until all goblin life is removed from the world.
Man, super nice job on the dynamic lighting on this. This is really cool.
Yeah, thanks. Wanted to show off our Astral Tabletop, who is powering today's stream. Showcase what they can do.
Does Dice see the knights in armor yet?
Let me see. Do you see? Well, wait a minute. What is your? Let's see. Open character sheet. I think it still has you at 60 feet of vision. Yeah, let me up that to 120 just for our purposes. Yes, I'm pretty sure you would see the knight. Okay, we are. Here we are. Okay. You can, Kron, you can make out the wagon. You see the wagon, through the trees and such as you continue on. So I will, what are your...
I'm not stopping. So
okay, so your intention is just to keep running towards them.
they have my lunch.
Yeah. All right. At this point, why don't we just go into initiative just for purposes of it seems Krun is running with very firm purpose.
All right,
so
let's do
let's
it.
everybody roll initiative for me.
I got a 6.
You guys, I'll leave it up to the DM whether you hear it or not. When Dice sees the guards, he visually starts to sweat, and under his breath, he's like, I can't go back to jail.
Okay. That is that. Let us start with Max.
I got a 6.
6. Okay. And Dice.
I was muted. I got 11.
11.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
15.
Bud and Petunia.
That would be a 21.
Ooh.
All right. Great. So, Bud and Petunia. You're up.
Oh boy. So
and
Bud will sneak up.
Kron, you're going to be on deck.
Bud will sneak up a little bit further here, still hiding, trying to get a better view of hopefully like where the goblins are that he could try and save. And Petunia, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's see. Petunia will move. We'll move up to about here and then use the last bit of her movement for the turn to burrow into the ground to hide herself, as she has a burrow speed of 10 feet.
Oh, okay.
Bud will continue hiding and kind of make his way up to this bush. I can make another stealth check if you want, or we can roll with what we had before.
Yeah, no, just keep your one from before.
Okay. That is what they are doing for now.
Okay. Let us move on to Krun.
Okay, so Krun makes it to here. Sees the big man on the horse. And clearly, big man, best challenge. And so he will 15, 20, 30 will move to here, no longer stealthing.
Oh,
and
okay.
And bellowing out loud, and that is his turn.
Can I retcon something I forgot to mention at the end of my turn? Since I didn't actually take an action, can I hold an attack action with my bow in case somebody makes a run?
I was gonna ask. Yeah, I was gonna ask, but I didn't know if you were doing it for flavor. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's fine. So, Kron, as you bellow forth, you see the the knight on the horse kind of look towards you in the kind of great helm and the chainmail and say,
If I can,
Mhm.
I'd like to try to be very intimidating in that roar.
make an intimidation check.
Okay. 19.
Nice.
Okay. He kind of looks in your direction, kind of almost fumbles with his sword as he draws it out, and he says, I am Sir Cass of Marlin. Fall beneath my blade, recreants.
And that's my turn. That was movement action, and then I also got an intimidation in there.
This guy's a professional.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Super professional.
I'll go ahead and spend my bonus action to rage. So, channeling in that warrior's cry, channeling my fighting instincts into a rage.
Got it. Dice, you are up.
I am going to, looking very scared at this situation, kind of back up and fight or flight. Dice has done his nickel. He doesn't want to go back. I will try to stealth around these bushes for, what is my 30 feet. So, hold on. Let's measure. Get that handy dandy measuring tool out. 30 feet. Bam. And I'm going to hide.
Okay, yeah. Make your stealth check. Or sorry if I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Max, you're up.
That's a 12.
12, got it.
All right,
Jacob, you can type the exact number in there.
I'll get it later.
Brandon, can I move through these trees or no?
Move through them, you mean? Yeah, you can move through them. The dynamic lighting is just as it is.
No,
Those are the actual trunks. So yes, you can absolutely move through anything that you can physically move it through on the map. It'll prevent you from getting through if it's dynamic lighting.
So I get to there with my 30 movement. What is the guy driving the cart? Like, what would the shot look like to like take an attack at him? Is he like obscured, or is he enough to see?
You've got the shot. The trees are wide enough, and the canopies are higher than the lower branches, so you're not looking at a lot of anything obscuring aside from the tree trunks.
Is there anything on the ground that would be convenient for me to catapult, like a large branch or like rocks or anything like that?
Yes, you're in the woods, so there's going to be. Let's see.
Leaf on the wind.
Yeah. It's going to be a stone. You actually find a stone kind of in the ground.
So I'm running towards the wagon, and then I've got my spell book like under one arm, and then I scoop up the stone with the other hand, and I kind of just like toss it, and then it like arcs, and then as it falls, I hold my spell book like a rifle, and then I cast catapult through the spell book, and it hits the rock, and then launches the rock at the
make an attack.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, and that is within 60 feet, so it's in range. All right, catapult. Oh, actually, so it says he just has to make a dex save, actually.
Oh, that's right. My bad. Yeah. And what's the DC again?
13.
Okay. Yeah. He failed.
Too.
Sweet. Okay. So the damage isn't great though. 5, 6, 7, 8 damage. That's really subpar for 3d8.
Yeah, that's rough.
Okay, 8 damage as this catapulted stone strikes out and hits him in the kind of like leather skull cap he's wearing. He just what under attack.
That's all I got for my turn.
Okay, great. It is their turn. They're going to kind of scramble. 1, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. He's going to go there and take the dodge action. This guy. 15, 20, 20, 30. And do the same. This gent is going to see, what can he see? 5, 10, 15 as he tries to get a better view. and he sees Max. He is going to make a crossbow attack at you, Max.
Oh no. AC is 13.
Yep. And the attack is going to hit. It is going to do 3 points of piercing damage as it kind of bolts through and just sears across your shoulder. As that one happens. Now, the horseman let's see. I'm trying to figure out a way to select this too. Oh, that's right. The horseman actually rides off as he says, 2 arms! Every 2 arms! 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40, 50, I believe.
So he doesn't run forward to attack, he runs away.
I scared
Yes.
him.
He's mobilizing.
Brave Sir Robin.
Yes. He says, "Help! 2 arms! 2 arms! Let us destroy them! They're that way!"
They're over there. Go back and get them.
At which point this guard comes up, takes the dodge action. This guy can't quite see.
Well, I know that that guard that you just moved, he did come into my view, and with the
take your
with
attack.
that there, I'll go ahead and make my attack. God, you've got to be kidding me. That's a 2 on the die, because real dice fail me today to do anything. So Bud will continue to be ineffective and shoot an arrow off into nothingness.
Hey, don't forget, you have an inspiration from earlier.
That's right. You do have one.
I guess I do. All right, I will go ahead and I will go ahead and use that for the sake of trying to do something. Oh. And that's a nat 20.
Thank you, Lonnie.
Oh, I will let you have it because that's an awesome that you nat 20'd. I forgot
I have disadvantage.
he is taking the dodge.
He has the dodge action,
He's
so I have
taking the
disadvantage on the
dodge
attack.
Don't worry about it. Take it. That's worth the inspiration. We'll just take that. Make your attack, make your damage. Max, I'm going to do this simultaneously while you're doing that, Bud. Max, you are going to take 3 points of damage from the thug that you fired the catapult at as he shoots his crossbow in your direction.
Got it.
Well, that's pretty good rolls. So that's 2d8 plus 3, and I'm going to go ahead and use Fury of the Small.
Okay.
To add another 2 to that attack, so that will be a grand total of 17.
Forgot we all have that ability.
Grand total of 17 damage?
17 damage, yeah.
All right. How would you like to slay this guard?
Bud will pop out and go to take a shot at the knight that's running off, but just haphazardly miss and just pluck this dude right between the eyes as the other knight runs away.
I didn't mean to kill him. I was aiming at somebody else.
Even in his success, Bud is doing the wrong thing.
As he goes down, you hear from the goblins. You hear goblinoid voices kind of cry out from the wagon. They say, "You get him! Get him! Get him!" And then another one saying, "No, don't hurt Creel! Don't hurt Creel! Please, please!" And we continue on as the soldier's going to take the dodge action himself. And now back to the top of the round with Bud and Petunia.
Okay, so Petunia is going to 5, 10, 15. Is going to make it just to the closest guard, and with a battle-hardened, will make a claw attack at the guard.
Okay, it is going to take Oh, it is going to have. It's taking the dodge action, so it is. You're going to have disadvantage. So make your attack as the guard brings up the shield and spear that it has, the shorter spear.
Yep. The lower on those is only an 8 to hit, so I'm assuming she will
not
miss.
going to hit. Yeah,
so she comes up
she
and
goes
just
for the
bears
shield.
claws across the shield and stands there. Bud will move up closer around, just up next to Kern here, kind of in the bushes, and will bonus action to hide.
Got it. Make your hide check.
So
and
14.
Krun, you're up.
Okay.
Got that 14.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. So Krun barrels through the trees here, and with his extremely long limbs, is able to get a 10-foot reach on a maul. And with his ancestral blade, or ancestral trunk, tree trunk, recklessly and with enthusiasm, he is going to swing. It's an 18 on the first die. So 18.
Wait, it's going to be one die. So 18 to hit. That'll be it because he is taking the dodge action currently. So it's going to cancel. Yeah.
Guard number 2.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They took 30 feet and dodged. So that
I thought
first
one of them
will be
didn't one of them shoot a crossbow?
The one on the wagon.
One up on the wagon shot. Okay.
The
That was on
thugs
the
are
wagon.
on the
Got it.
crossbows.
Got it.
You're good.
Cool.
Sure.
So 10, 11, 12 points of damage.
Okay, how do you wish to slay this lowly guard?
Gallagher, his head.
As you
melons, just
you crush it. You crush it down, and the helmet just compacts and boom, and he
just a bellow of battle lust or battle ecstasy, and look for my next target. And that's my turn.
Great. Moving on to dice.
All right. Fighting against all his fears, he's going to move to the edge of this little cliff here, and seeing what he sees, sees Petunia and the guard. 56 feet. So I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on this guard here.
Sure.
And I'm going to yell out.
Did your mother have to cast darkness to feed you?
Say that again. You cut out there, but say that again.
I said, did your mother have to cast darkness to feed you?
And that's a save. Like he has to make a charisma save or something.
Wisdom 13 charisma save.
Cool. And as you wait, wisdom 13, what?
You said wisdom 13 charisma save.
It's a charisma save, right?
Yeah.
No, wisdom. Sorry.
Oh,
wisdom
save.
Charisma. Okay, no, I just got confused because I was like, well, which one is it? Okay, so as you say this, he just looks in your direction and like despondent just says, no. And he rolled a nat 1. I'm gonna give you a reverse crit on that one. Since he got one on that save, double your damage for this vicious mockery.
2.
Yeah. As you see that this has just stung him psychically as he and he just kind of starts to go
he
into
has
a battle rage of his own.
He has disadvantage on his next attack. Disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Got it. Awesome, Max, you're up.
I'm pissed at the guy the guy on the cart who shot me. So I'm like, you shot me, and then I'm gonna cast Chaos Bolt at him. So I slam my spellbook shut. Energy starts rippling above the book, and it is going to be. Let's go with lightning damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Did that come through on Astral that time?
Did.
Okay.
It did.
Cool.
And what was this spell attack?
Oh, sorry. Oh crap. Yeah, I rolled an 11. That's probably not enough to hit.
11 just hits.
Oh, yes. Okay. So it's 12 total damage, and it's lightning damage.
Got it. 12 total damage and lightning damage.
So the
That
energy like
is-
fires forth, and then it crackles and turns blue, and then it turns into this bolt of lightning as it reaches him.
You see him. He's got his crossbow crackling through him. The energy begins to. You see steam start to come off of him as his skin starts to kind of bubble as the burns set in. Anything else you're doing?
That's my turn.
Okay. Now it is their turn. This. Okay, so this guard here is going to wade a little bit further in.
I'd like to take an attack of opportunity as he moves out of my range.
Oh, that is
It's
right.
his reach.
Okay.
Yep. Nice.
So he's going to try and get closer. Make your attack. He
So
is
as I
taking.
come
He is
come
taking the
down-
dodge action, so it's a disadvantage.
It's his next turn, though.
Oh, that's right. No, my bad.
Uh,
Yes, take it.
So, unfortunately, it's in between turns, so I don't get the reckless. So that's 11.
Okay.
11 to hit.
11 to hit. That is going to miss.
Okay.
As the chain
That's it.
shirt and shield that he's wearing kind of helps
Just
ward
clinks
off
his
some of the
shield.
blow. Yeah, boom. And now he moves deeper into the space to threaten Mad Max, Master of the Elements, as he deems the possum as not as big of a threat, as the thug moves slightly around and backs up. Makes a shot at Mad Max with advantage for his pack tack, being a thug. And what is your AC, Max?
13.
13, as he takes aim, fires, and it plinks off the guard's helmet in front of him as he goes, "Argh!" Now, following up, we have the fellow on the cart taking his pack tactics attack against you. Being a 19.
Crap.
And doing 3 points of piercing damage to you.
Guys, I hurt.
And let us, just as a heads up, you all, we are at over our time for the first session, so let us pick this up as fast as we possibly can. I know I'm making my moves right now. The moving on, so you've taken that damage, and the horseman now begins to kind of wheel around, come to a place where he can more effectively maneuver, and he takes the dodge action as well. And he says, "For valor and honor, charge!" And stays where he is. Now, moving on to Bud and Petunia.
Petunia is going to continue to sit there and hiss at the guard, not taking a direct action this turn. She will take the dodge action. And Bud will flit up here to this bush and jump out from hiding to make an attack on this thug here.
Make your attack with advantage.
Uh, 17 on the first one there.
It's going to hit. Roll your damage.
That will be, looks like 5 piercing damage.
Got it.
And then he will duck into the bush again and bonus action to hide.
Yeah, this arrow strikes him, and he kind of looks down at it. Hit his leather armor, but you can tell he's kind of wincing as if it did break skin. "Oh, you little green monsters!"
And ducks back in the bush.
Go in
14 to hide on my stealth, and that's the end of my turn.
Right. Great. Kron, you're up.
All right. Seeing the warhorse and its occupant emerge from behind the cart into a place where I can reach him, Krun dashes forward his full movement to here, threatening the warhorse and screaming at the horse, and then also threatening the thug in the process.
Got it.
And that is my turn.
And Dice, you're up.
All right, so Dice, seeing his closest to best friend Max wounded, gets a little mad. He looks at the guard that's attacking Max, and he casts Vicious Mockery again, because that is my go-to. Let me go ahead and cast that. Oh, one again. Oh, sorry. And I will say...
What flies faster, arrows or family that left you?
And that will be Wisdom Save 13.
Okay. He looks at you, and he just says, "Crows." As you spark images of his absent family that abandoned him in his childhood, right before landing this vicious mockery.
So he takes 1 point of damage. Man, I'm rolling low on that. And then I'll take my bonus action, and I am going to cast Healing Word on Max and be like, Master of Healing, heal.
Roll up that for me.
5.
And Max, go ahead and let's go with your turn.
Okay, so what I want to do, with your permission, I want to cast Minor Illusion, and I want to illusion the sound of like a goblin battle cry, like a mass goblin battle cry.
Okay, sure. Make an Arcana check just to see like how much you can amp this up.
So it's a 10.
Yeah, you get general kind of like sounds like it's coming from the woods behind you, or wherever. Which direction do you want it to come from?
I want to place it so that it comes from all sides as best as possible, at least. So it sounds like they're surrounded.
I think it's just one direction, and with that Arcana roll, I'm just going to have you pull.
That's fine. That's fine.
Which side would you prefer?
From the direction that we are coming from, to make it more
Got
convincing.
it. Okay.
And
Cool.
I'll say something to the effect, like I'll be like, all right, the rest of you, we've got them where they want them. Charge! And then the sound happens.
Okay, and at that point, as the so that happens. What is that? Your turn?
That's my turn.
Cool. That happens, and the mounted knight says, "The enemy are here. There's a pot of valor, everyone. You shall rue this day." As he points his sword to you, Krun, and takes the disengage action as he begins to ride away, abandoned comrades.
Who takes the disengage action, him or the horse?
The horse.
Okay, because I was going to attack the horse.
Yeah, the horse will do it. In effect, I'm just kind of as they move as one. But he's going to make it, and as he's running, he says, "You shall meet me again!" And yeah, that's that. The thug here, he's gonna, he's gonna go to you, make attacks with his mace. First is gonna miss. Second is going to hit, as it is a 4 point bludgeoning damage to you, Krun. I don't know if raging that may get rounded down.
I got it.
Okay, the thug here is going to make an attack at Max with advantage. Both attacks are going to miss, and the guard here is basically going to and he's going down at Max like with an attack. Whoa. And is going to hit with doing 7, 8 points of piercing damage.
That was on
As
me.
as he crosses into you with his spear. You don't insult my And that is that. Moving on to Bud and Petunia.
Sorry, was responding to a thing there. Petunia's gonna stay and do what she was doing before. Bud's been doing a little better here, so Bud's gonna pop back out and shoot at this thug again.
Attack roll.
With advantage again?
Yeah.
Okay. That is weird that came through as a 12 on that, because the first roll was definitely a 19 on the die. So,
damage.
7 points of damage to the thug.
How do you wish to slay the wagon?
As the thug brings his own crossbow up, Bud pops back out, frantically shoots him, snaps the string on the crossbow itself, shoots the crossbow out of his hands. The crossbow hits the ground and shoots the arrow up into the guard.
That way it's
Masterful.
not actually Bud.
Masterful.
Right, not actually Bud. And he will run forward to here, and I don't technically have any actions left, but he will run forward to see if he can do anything to get the goblins out of the cart.
And just go, whee!
Oh!
So, Clown, you're up. Or did Petunia do anything?
Petunia stays there and takes the dodge. Well, Petunia she'll take the dodge action and then also run towards the cart. Well, she'll stay there. Just kind of hissing, threatening at this guy, seeing that Max has been put in a bit of a bad way.
Max, did you heal yourself for 5?
I did, and then I got wrecked this past turn.
Krun, you are up.
I don't know why Krun's the meat shield, because obviously Max is pulling that duty pretty hard. Krun against this idiot who was dumb enough to... Let's see what range I've got. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I can't get to the warhorse. All right. Looking at this guy, Krun's gonna go reckless and just he had the gall to swing at him. So, so first attack is a 23. Second attack's not as good, or second roll's not as good. So 23 to hit. And we're going ham on this one, so we're going to add the sneak attack for 2d6, and I'll go ahead and add the raging +2 to that. So 16 points of damage against the thug.
Yeah, basically you just wreck his chest as it slams into him. And all of his air, he kind of falls backwards. And
I just, inches from his nose... just full throat scream at him.
Yeah. Yep. Checks out. Dice, you're up. And Max, you're on deck.
Sorry, I was just catching my breath from laughing what I saw in Discord. So I'm going to. Oh! I was like, oh no, not Max. Okay, and I run closer. I can go through these trees, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna run closer. And I'm going to look at the guard, and I'm going to cast Tasha's Uncontrollable Hideous Laughter.
Yes.
Okay. What's this on that?
Oh, well, won't it let me? Oh, there it goes. Should be displaying now.
It's a 16 on the die, so let's just keep it moving. They save.
Okay.
I think. I assume your
DC's
not... not that high.
DC is 13.
Got it. Yeah, he's fine.
Should be.
Or whatever that happened.
Okay, then last spell is another healing word on
Max.
Max.
Thank you.
Yep. You got it. Max, take it away. Your turn.
Heal for 6.
Thank you. All right. To get this guy away from me, I'm gonna cast the gust spell, so he needs to make a strength save. It's a 13.
He fails.
Okay, so I blast him 5 feet away from me. So let's blast him like here, away from me and Petunia.
Got it. Okay.
I'm like, go away, and I slam my book shut, like away from me, so that the air like gusts and pushes him.
And as you do that, he says, "Oof." He kind of goes back and he's, "Oh, oh." And are you doing anything else this turn?
Actually, I'll withdraw towards dice.
Got it. He is going to take a full run away and abandon the place as he just kind of runs off, runs away. This thug here is at this point going to attempt to get away and take the disengage action, and he runs off as well. About 30 feet, about here. Okay. At this point, the mounted knight is headed off. For all intents and purposes, he's at a full gallop and away. And now that leaves us now with Bud and Petunia. Your turn. It seems that they are fleeing at this point.
Yeah, Bud. Not interested in anything else. Petunia will run up towards this as well, and Bud will jump up in to the cart and see if there's anything, if they are like chained or like they're in cages, right?
Yeah.
So he will
It's like a wooden cage.
Yeah, he'll see what he can do to try and like either break or open the cage.
Okay. Just make a strength check.
Can I make it with Petunia instead? Can she run up and do it instead of Bud?
Sure. Yeah.
Beautiful. Petunia
And
runs up.
It's just tied basically with a rope. So Petunia can
Fair.
attempt to chew through.
Yeah, she will do that then.
Okay.
Let's see. So Petunia.
While he's doing that, as Dude tried to run away from Krun rolled a 22 and just baseball batted him.
Petunia rolls a 20 on her check to get that open.
She bites it open, and inside. Now we're gonna just to keep things moving along. There are individuals running. We can deal with them as we wish, kind of with flavor-wise. Krun already dealt with one. We'll just say that he just kind of whoomp, unconscious, just straight out, if not a full goner. And
I valiantly firebolt the guy from behind.
he takes. You roll your roll. You can roll your attack and your damage as I'm doing. If it lands, you got to beat a 6 or match a 16.
Well, I nat 1, so
yeah, you failed. Now, 3 goblins are in this cage. You see a scarred goblin male cowering in the corner. You know this is Creel. All of you do. All of you would know these goblins. Trial is a streetwise, fast-talking goblin. You see him in there as well. It's about time you got here. Oh, boy. And then Rick says, good job. Got him. And she kind of mimics a bow. And she is kind of in tattered clothing. You see another cage. Petunia sees a moving sack inside a smaller cage, suspended from a stick and chain. Petunia, you recognize this as a Joey.
With it being one of her Joeys, she gets very excited and like immediately picks it up, puts it on her back, like checks it over, make sure everything's copacetic, all that kind of business.
Well, you get the cage. There's a little cage. If she rolls it over the side, it can pop and break.
Absolutely, yeah. She breaks this cage down.
And then inside, there is a smaller sack, a moving.
Getting some audio cut out from you there, man. Try that again.
Sorry,
You're lagging out, Brandon.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why. Give me one. Let me try.
If we can get through this, might just reset your connection or something in between the break. But let's see if we can.
Are we doing okay right now?
At the moment, yeah.
Okay. So, just let me know. So there's a small sack with a jug inside. As you open the jug, possum hisses at Petunia.
She kind of like takes back a little bit and gives a sniff. Like, is this one of hers?
And then as you sniff, it lunges out to bite you, doing 3 points of piercing damage.
She will grab it and like pin it to the ground, a little confused. The perception of sniffing it, is this one of hers or is this someone else's?
As it's going, and then it kind of wriggles out of the grasp and leaps Bud. And as it leaps, bounds of this small possum's form begins to elasticize and stretch. Weight too increases slightly as a goblin form suddenly lands on top of you.
Ah!
Standing on Bud, slapping your arms, your body, and your face as an old, perturbed voice cackles out into the previously serene forest.
Stupid, foolish, rock gobblers, the lot of you!
Granddammy, Cracker, stop! No, stop!
She says,
You're not heroes, ruiners, that's what you all are! And the whelps, you've done them in now too.
She strides over to the back of the wagon and looks at it pensively for a moment.
Get out of there, you sluts!
Rix and Trackbolt oblige immediately, but Creel shakes his head and holds onto the cage.
Creel scared! Creel, stay right here!
She says,
Creel, you bed-piddling numbskull! I'll give you something to cry about! Just like the old days when you were a weaned whelp!
And she goes over and grabs this large stick off the ground, and she comes toward. He says,
"Oh, switch! Oh, switch! Please, Grandammy, no hurt Creel! Out now!"
And at this, Creel scrambles desperately out of the cage. Grandammy climbs into the wagon, and as she does so, the green ball that has been following you all around.
Well, I completely forgot.
Hopping below her as she absentmindedly ignores it, she takes some food from the crates and throws it to the three captives.
Take food back to the wise one. Take food back to the wise ones, and he can have some too. Tell them Grandammy will be back with the whelps soon.
And she looks at all of you. She looks at you with
You've been chosen by one of the relics that we retrieved of the gods, and I'm pointing at the ball.
When Dice sees her, he just looks up and says,
"Ah, I thought she'd have bit it."
You've never been so lucky,
she says to Dice. And she says,
and you, oh, that's a nice whatever, I don't care what it is. You snuts, since you've spoiled everything else, make yourselves useful and drive this wagon.
And with that, we will end this section of the session. Thank you all. We have gone a little over time. Appreciate your patience. Hope you enjoyed this first session of Just Cause, a Goblin Shenanigan. And you now have met Grandammy Gracca for the first time.
Good old Grandammy Gracca. Good times. Loved it, man. The little ball rolling up at the end. Super fun. That was great.
Loved it. So how do we want to deal with this break here?
Reminder to everybody that is watching, anybody that has donated here during our game so far or that continues to do so until we come back for our next session, your donations will be culminated, and you will the highest donor during that time frame will be contacted by us separate from everything here. We'll announce it whenever we get back to the stream. That will receive a copy of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything that will release later this month. Obviously, I don't have it yet. Hasn't come out yet. but we'll send it to you when it does. So, with that, we are going to step away here for a few minutes, rest our eyes slightly, as we are only a quarter of the way through this shenanigan. And I am going to actually bring the stream down for a few minutes. We had some technical issues this morning with our intermission playlist. So I need to drop that down and I will start it back up. You can stay right here in the channel. It should pick back up. If not, I'll put in channel whenever we're back online. You might need to, at worst, hit refresh on your page. But we will be around here. Anybody that would like to know how to donate, the information can be found there on our page. Yeah, that's what I got. Anybody else have anything before we dip off?
Just want to give a shout out once again. Thanks again to everybody for donating. Also, just want to throw it out there that Derek is going to be running our next one.
He is.
Excited for that one as well. So just so you know what's going on as we continue this adventure.
And we've got 2 more PCs named by donors that will be appearing later in one of the games. I know the 2 that I'm thinking of particularly will be appearing in section number 3. So
yeah, I'll let you guys know. Thank you for your donations. The next session does not have a whole lot of NPCs, so we're gonna switch it over to Gabe's for sure.
Fantastic. And Loco Mimi, I will absolutely be updating our goal. At very least, we will be bumping that up to 1,200, and it will continue to go up as the day goes on if we manage to meet that. So we are, I think, going to step off here. Were we doing accolades on each one, or are we saving those for later? Do we want to hold off on that since we're a little behind?
I think just in the interest of time, maybe not today.
Sure. That sounds good.
We can do accolades at the very end if we want.
Yeah, or if we find that we're short on like another one at some point, then we can do them then when we have more time.
Accolades thus far, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, with that, thank you everybody for watching. We hope you stick with us, and we'll be back in just a little while.
Sweet.
Thanks everybody.